heartaches. Tonight the heartaches on me. It's called the headache. Tonight the headaches on me.
Imus in the morning.
Ellie. Didn't I introduce it?
Well, we could have played commercials.
Well, what did you think I was doing?
We could have still played commercials, though.
No. If I say here is the Bartlett's and tonight's the headaches on me, and you play commercials, makes me sound like a moron. What are you doing in there?
Well, we can play it now.
Why don't you flip the bone to the camera again? You hideous little weasel. Go home and put on another funny T-shirt. Play the record.
You could have heard my jaw drop when he first played Dixie Chicks. Right then I wished he would go back to talking politics. It's like last year when he believed he discovered Fleetwood Mac. If there's a God, he'll take him now. Give him a heart attack. 'Cause tonight the headache's on me. From Imus playing the Dixie Chicks CD. Won't do no good to wine, 'cause the Iman's lost his mind. Tonight the headache's on me. I hate wide open spaces. I'm sick of Goodbye Earl. I prefer Kinky Friedman over these hillbilly girls. Anything is better than listening to this. I'd actually think I'd rather hear him talk about Alger Hiss. 'Cause tonight the headache's on me, yeah. From Imus playing the Dixie Chicks CD. Some Delbert would be fine, but these chicks make my teeth grind. Tonight the headache's on me. Cause tonight the headache's on me, yeah. From Imus playing the Dixie Chicks CD. Hey, I like Patsy Cline, just not all the f***ing time. Tonight the headache's on me. Yes, tonight the headache's on me.
Imus in the morning.
Alley, Montana, Gracie, Tiny.
What is it, man? You can. The brand new Auto Body Express catalog, which is out now. It's online at autobodyexpress.com, or you can call 1-800-272-1957. It features a picture of Deidre Imus.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports with Bob Dole's favorite sportscaster. Gives Bob Dole such a tingly feeling down in Bob Dole's winter. Bob Dole doesn't need that Viagra. Here's Warner Wolf, or whatever.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning. Thank you, I-Man. The report of my demise has been greatly exaggerated. That's the Roger Clemens story. Left for dead after being bombed out by the Red Sox 13-1 10 days ago. Came back, beat the Braves 4-1. Yanks sweep the series. Clemens allowing only 4 hits. Left with 2 outs in the 8th and a 3-0 lead. Described by John Miller of ESPN Radio. And a thunderous ovation from the crowd at Yankee Stadium as Clemens heads off the field with a shutout, and he doffs his cap as he gets near the dugout and waves to the crowd. Mariano Rivera with a win and 2 saves in 3 of the 4 games, Series MVP. Rivera ends the season without giving up a run since July the 21st. After the game, Clemens, criticized by many most of the year, including the I-Man, gave the key to last night's success.
I saw Imus's face in the catcher's mitt every pitch.
After the game,
You really are an idiot. You're suspended.
oh my God.
You're suspended for the rest of your life.
Absolutely right. Good. You know, I saw Clemens walking in the hall to the game to the clubhouse about 4:15. I was standing there. He had like a football jacket on. The guy was in a zone. He was in a zone. He was all business. And then I spoke to Torrey about 6 o'clock. Torrey's great. You know that? He said, I said, Joe, there's 2 stories here. Clemens and the World Series. Clemens said, I want that World Series ring. I said, it's out there on the mound for him to pick up. And Torrey said, you're absolutely right. The stage is set. Torrey's more than just the manager. He sees the whole picture.
Yeah, he does. What's interesting about Joe Torre is here's a guy who's been around forever.
Yeah.
And I guess he was a good baseball player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he was an MVP, too.
Yeah, I mean, so he was a great baseball player. But in addition to that, but he didn't have, nobody thought he was this kind of manager, but like his book, The 12 Steps to, it's a pretty fascinating account of, I mean, it's not just about baseball, but it's about, how to deal with difficult bosses and that kind of stuff. So it's actually, we had him on talking about the book, and I made a little fun of him about it. It's really a pretty good book, but management manual kind of thing if you're interested, or just to get along with your husband or whomever. But the guy's the whole package. I mean, and he's obviously always had it. He apparently just needed a team, or maybe he's just coming to his home, or who knows. But
Well, he's picked up a lot, but like you say,
it's the real deal, though.
Yes. Casey Stengel, managed the Mets for all those years, and before that, I think it was the Braves. They never did anything. Then he managed the Yankees. They said, well, he's a genius. Well, he was the same manager.
Yeah.
He just had better teams.
But he certainly, but you can't, but Torrey has handled not only, the management of the game itself and all of the various moves, but he's handled all of the various off-field stuff. It's about as well as you can handle.
Absolutely.
There's his relationship with the other coaches, the players, and some difficult situations. And
Absolutely.
so
Now on the other side of the fence,
and he's honest. A lot of guys wouldn't have admitted that all this was on the table for Clemens. They would have.
you're right.
They would have given you some jive about, well, it's only important the team does. The team has to do well, and it's only important that we win, and we're all in this together. But, Torrey was honest about it. He says, you're absolutely right. He's got to go out there and pitch a big game, and if he doesn't get it done, he doesn't get it done.
That's it. That's it. You hit it on the nose, man. Most managers would have blown that off. Said, hey,
absolutely.
It's a team game.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
So he's straight up, and he's a remarkable guy.
Yeah.
Very unusual guy.
Yeah.
What else? We got a few seconds.
Few seconds?
Wasted too much time.
What do you mean starts
Well,
crying?
I'll tell you what.
I'm going to come in there. You're going to start crying because I'm going to come in there and pistol whip you. Where's, by the way, Steak Shapiro?
He's on his way down, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
He's in the building.
Okay.
I'll finish with this. Try this on. You know the real reason the Braves lost?
They suck.
Besides that,
Yeah.
it's the curse of the Bambino. Now, Peter, what are you talking about? Well, the Braves are really the Boston Braves in disguise, before moving to
Sure.
Milwaukee and Atlanta. Babe Ruth ended his career with the Yanks, then signed with the Braves as a pinch hitter and a vice president. His last 7 home runs were with the Braves, and he left in June because they didn't give him what he wanted. And he went became a coach with the Dodgers. You see, there's the curse of the Bambino with the Braves even.
Well, the Braves now have become almost the Buffalo Bills of baseball, haven't they?
That's right.
I mean, they really suck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And the Vikings, or Bud Grant, was 0-4.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll stick with the Bills.
All right.
Warren.
Imus in the morning.
All right, thanks, Warren. I'm sorry I wasted all that time yapping away about nothing. Let me talk to you about Nikon now. This is a great deal here. Nikon has decided to celebrate the millennium a little early this year, November 8th to be exact, a week from yesterday, Monday. I don't know when. A week from this, I don't know when it is. The award-winning Nikon Coolplex 950 camera, considered one of the most successful digital cameras of all time, offering 2.11 megapixels of resolution
It is as easy to use as the point and shoot. It's the only digital camera designed for the photographer in you. Nippon going to celebrate the millennium with a special one-time sale of this limited edition Millennium Coolpix 950 digital camera, with the profits from the camera going to the Imus Ranch for Kids with Cancer. Beginning November 8th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Nikon will be offering this special Millennium Coolpix 950 limited edition camera only on their website store at NikonOutlet.com. 2,000 cameras at $2,000 a camera. It's a collector's edition. They are numbered and will include a certificate of authenticity. You can only one per customer, and they're obviously going to increase in value. Nikon will donate $500 from each camera sold from each camera sold on the buyer's behalf to the Imus Ranch. So you get the tax deduction and the camera, and we could wind up raising $1 million for the ranch. So it's a good deal all the way around. Nikon, I'll tell you more about it as we get closer to the day we're going to do it. All right. For a lot of people, eating healthier means giving up taste, but that's not the case with Barber Light stuffed chicken breasts. Barber Light stuffed chicken breasts are boneless stuffed chicken breasts, the kind you get in restaurants, except that they are low in fat and low in calories. Each Barber Light stuffed chicken breast has a mere 8 grams of fat or less. Each with the low fat. The taste is truly extraordinary. You might say it's sinfully delicious. Barber's Light broccoli and cheese, a luscious chicken breast stuffed with appetizing broccoli and cheese filling. God, do I sound like I've ever read in one of these?
No, as a matter of fact, no, you don't.
Barber's chicken breasts, get them. Eat them. They're great. Frozen food department at your supermarket. This election day will not be the politicians who will be running for something. Omni Fitness customers will be too, running, climbing, stepping, and pedaling their way to a fitter, healthier lifestyle during the Omni Fitness Election Week sale, where you can save 10 to 40% on Omni's home fitness equipment. The best on the market, that's 10 to 40% off. Already guaranteed low prices at Omni. Choose any quality treadmill, bike, stair machine, or maybe pick up the revolutionary new elliptical total body cross trainer. You've heard so much about Life Fitness, makers of the famous Life Cycle. At Omni, you have the freedom to choose because everything is on sale. Call them and find out where they are. Omni Fitness, 1-877-875-OMNI.
It's very entertaining to drive. Saab sales are up 45% over last year.
The Zone. Oh, a little Stevie Steak Shapiro. Wearing, by the way, this is so lame.
Oh, no.
It's really not. You're
Oh,
so
God
embarrassing.
almighty, yes.
Wearing a Zone $790, the Zone denim shirt.
Yeah,
I mean,
nice, huh?
no, they're not
no.
nice. I
thought it was an auto body express shirt.
That would have been worse.
that would have been a better idea, by the way.
Little suck-up action this morning. I think is apropos.
Where's your wig and pig snout nose?
Where's my what?
Where is your blonde wig, Chrome Dome, which you might want to think about anyway as some kind of wig?
Oh, wait, I see you have the pig snout on.
Well, that's not necessary.
I love
That's cold.
I love the support. Bernard's been great to me, too.
Yes.
Yeah. Stakey, you the man. High five, shaking it up.
Yeah.
As soon as we get, yeah.
What happened to your team? God almighty.
Miserable performance. 8 trips to the postseason, 1 World Series, and this was the worst of all.
The Mets really took it out of him, huh?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just like your dad said, right? Great theory. Yeah. Didn't even compete last night, really.
No,
Did not even compete. I had a miserable evening at all levels. Yeah, just the worst. How about a Red Sox fan, Braves fan / sitting in a New York bar for 3 hours listening to these yahoos screaming like crazy. A couple of guys, geniuses, find out who I was,
right,
and then they start in with a whole deal as well. And then you watch Roger Clemens. I get stuff pelted at me. I'm staying in a room with Bo Bach and Mike Bell, the 3 of us in some shoebox in Midtown, and it hasn't been fun.
You're all in the same room?
Yeah, we're in the same room. It's expensive. It's like $275 a night to stay in some flea bag hotel.
Yeah, but I mean, 4 guys?
3 guys. Three guys.
That's got a smell
Mike?
in there, boy.
It's not pretty. 3 hairy, nasty. Yeah. Bo's been in the business 22 years. He used to have a show over there on MSG. Now he's been reduced to sleeping in a closet with Steak Shapiro and Mike Bell.
Yeah, with you, yeah.
I'd rather go to a bench in Penn Station.
Well,
it was bad last night. It was real bad.
so
The series was terrible. It's a good thing I won that Braves Mets deal. Otherwise, I would have been in deep trouble. But this was bad. This series.
This is awful. I mean, he's humiliating himself.
This is as bad as me welching on Francesa with a Porsche deal. I mean,
really?
This is awful.
This is worse.
I mean, this is...
Thanks for the support yesterday.
At least there was some misunderstanding with me and Francesa.
It wasn't a documented deal.
It wasn't a documented deal like this is. We didn't have anything on tape. We have you agreeing on tape to squeal like a pig.
I don't know what that little number you put together was, but that.
Oh, come on.
Piece of tape.
Start squealing, Porky.
Together. What are you talking about?
We want to hear some oinks.
Start squealing, Porky, right now.
Well, let me say that. Where's one supposed to come up with that kind of?
Where's your wig, by the way?
12:50. The game ended after midnight. What do you want me to do? Go running around Manhattan shopping for a wig?
Should have been prepared.
You should have come over here prepared.
It was 3-0. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, what did you think was going to happen?
Saltzman's right. You are a moron.
It's 12 minutes after the hour on the Imus morning program. Well, those of you watching MSNBC get an idea what steak looks like with a blonde wig. But
yeah.
You don't have a wig with you?
I felt like if you're going to humiliate me any worse than you have over the last few weeks, maybe you guys, with your minuscule budget over here, could maybe come up with something.
We can do that.
Why didn't we get a wig, by the way?
Because the onus was on steak. That was part of the deal.
We
would have been glad to get
No, because you went home early yesterday because you were tired.
That's ridiculous. We could have gotten a wig, no problem, had that been our task.
We got a mop.
I'm not wearing a mop. I'm not even
We
wearing
got a mop. We have a mop. It would be good.
You're a genius.
We got a mop.
Really, you really are. I'm telling you, you are a genius.
We were cleaning up with it yesterday. We got a mop.
Go get a mop. Let Chuck
I'm
do
not
the
wearing
news.
a mop. I'm not going to wear a mop. I'm not even.
Oh yeah,
We must have a wig around here somewhere, don't we?
I won my.
Look back in the we have a wig.
Yeah, come on.
One of the broads here wear a wig.
Oh jeez.
The broads, that's great.
That's just lovely.
One of the women at the radio station must wear a wig.
We'll find a wig.
They all do.
They all do, don't they? Doesn't Margaret Morgana wear a wig? Yeah. Alice, didn't you wear a wig?
Of course.
He should.
They share wigs.
Well, we got a nice mop anyway, Charles.
It's 14 after the hour. Chuck's got to do a little news. Steak Shapiro's here with us from Atlanta. Trying to weasel out of... Do we have a mop?
Yes.
Oh, we do have a mop.
Yes.
I'm not wearing a mop. I'm not going to wear a mop. I won my side.
You didn't win anything. Hang on. Let's do the news, and we'll come back. We'll play this tape, by the way.
Yeah, play that for me. This is fun. I'm glad. This is a great time. Seriously, thank you.
No, why'd you make such a stupid bet? You thought you were going to have me come down to Atlanta.
You made a bet until Francesa opened his mouth and started talking about odds and everything else.
No,
It was.
Thank God Francesa. Thank God Francesa.
He was thinking.
Brought us back to reality. By the way.
Right.
And what do you think the Yankees and Braves? Do you think that may have been slightly a mismatch on some level?
There it is.
No, the Braves won more games this year than anybody.
Get that mop out.
They won 103 games.
That's it. Now oink. And all you got to do is oink and we're done.
Just oink and it's over.
Get it over with.
I'm starting to sweat. Please.
Well, it's a mop, so sweat away.
All right, here's Chuck with the news. Good morning, Charles. You got to find a wig here. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, man. One note.
Don't you go anywhere, Steak.
No, you sit right there.
Sit right here.
An Indian chief from Kent, Connecticut, man, explains all of this. He says the Indian war chant of the Atlanta Braves fans is cursed. Chief Richard Velke...
Are you listening to this, Steak?
All right, get this. Chief Richard Velke, man, heads the Shagtacoke tribe in Connecticut.
Right.
And he says so long as the Braves fans insist on using the pseudo-Indian chant, the team will never win a World Series. It is cursed, and they should stop it, according to a band.
Why don't you explain something to Whining Arrow that they already won one World Championship using the chant.
Won't win again, because it is now cursed. Who's going to argue with a tribal elder?
Go get some firewater and shut up.
The debate that wasn't took place in Hanover, New Hampshire last night at Dartmouth, an apparently largely pro-democratic audience, asking the questions of...
Well, once again, Washington has hosted an event that, although it did make money for a very worthy cause, was tantamount to a white supremacist convention, the Imus roast, the Beltway Insiders version of the Friars Club. Except instead of a bunch of washed-up old Catskill Mountain rejects making fun of one of their own, it was a bunch of tedious cracker politicians and au-fait pundits making fun of a washed-up DJ who likes to consider himself one of their own. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that over $250,000 are going to spina bifida. I'm just outraged over the fact that there weren't any people of color up on the dais. Don't even try to tell me you had difficulty finding brothers to appear, because you know you can't throw a rock in D.C. without hitting a black man. And for all practical purposes, you did, just by neglecting to have one up there with you. You may as well just literally stoned us, because one of the most important events held in don't think there was an African American anywhere in the nation's capital that would have something nasty to say about the I-Man? Boy, with all the brothers I know who'd love to get back at you for stuff you said about them, you could have held another million-man march. Where was Jesse Jackson? Where was Vernon Jordan? For that matter, where was Chris Rock? Seeing as it was supposed to be a funny event, didn't anybody think they might want to have somebody who was actually capable of getting some laughs? It ain't like Senator Pete Domenici gonna be headlining La Casa de Comedy in Santa Fe anytime soon. And Senator Joe Lieberman, that boy wouldn't know a punchline even if it had a penis on it. Tim Russett holding up props like he's some fat middle-aged version of Carrot Top. Can't use a headline on a newspaper for a punchline in a room full of 500 people, you moron. Especially when more than 3/4 of them need that laser eyeball surgery in the first place. John Kerry, Paul Begala, Chris Dahl. This group couldn't be any whiter if you put Johnny Winter in there with them. I'd say you are also a misogynist for not having any females up there as well, but I guess all of them was at that Annie Leibovitz, Susan Sontag Women of Power thing over at the White House. And I'm not even delving into that event to see if any sisters was invited there, because even if they were, any black woman I know who had any pride or dignity wouldn't have gone there in the first place. You know, come to think of it, maybe I'm not so outraged at this Y2KKK assembly of yours after all. Because even if some prominent black celebrities have been axial roast, I don't think they would have gone neither. Especially seeing as how most of them I know was back here in New York at your penthouse, hanging with your old lady.
So today, whether you like it or not, God brought the idea through me. He didn't bring it through me because my heart was dark with hatred and anti-Semitism. He didn't bring it through me because my heart was dark and I'm filled with hatred for white people and for the human family of the planet. If my heart were that dark, how is the message so bright, the message so clear, the response so magnificent?
Imus in the morning.
If you be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal. I can call you Betty, Betty when you call me out. Call me.
Imus in the morning.
Financial stress.
So these two guys are here this morning.
Yes.
They at an auction.
Yes.
For the Tomorrow's Children's Fund.
Yes. They want an hour to sit and watch the
Wait a
I-Man.
second. To come down and watch the program.
For
well,
1 hour.
Yes, but now you're throwing people out of here
I did not
who
throw
put
them
up
out.
thousands of dollars to come down and check out them, and because they're like this.
Time's up.
That's it.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
They can stay
guess-
as long as you like them
like
to
what
stay
you
there.
say.
Your
Oh,
guests,
really?
and they can stay as long as you like
Hour's
them.
up. Let's go.
Time's up.
Guess what?
You.
I'm gonna take them to the ranch, and they're gonna co-host from the ranch with me.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
The market is a living, breathing organism.
4 days after Florida State wide receiver Peter Warwick pleaded guilty to theft. The two arrests puts Florida State past Nebraska as the #1 leader in felonies.
We're number one. We're number one.
Imus in the morning.
Welcome to Take a Stand. Today's issue, iWan.com. Here's Matt Murphy.
iWan.com is a great idea.
He lives in Brooklyn at
Does he live at
home.
home?
Yes.
Oh, Ack, out of the house. Not moving to Yonkers. Out of the house. That's it. It's Ack. Absolutely.
Breaking the Mad Dog. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Ben here from Ace Audio Visual.
And this report brought to you by Staten Island Live. Find out what's happening on Staten Island at www.silive.com. Your web source from everything Staten Island, from local news to public school profiles. www.silive.com. With reports every 20 minutes, I'm Joe Tollison, WFAN 2020 Sports.
Every Sunday, it's the NFL Now, the NFL in action, and Jets football. Here on The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
542, we check the Fan Highway Patrol with Jennifer Bogan.
And Joe, big jam up on the Belt Parkway. Eastbound traffic packed from Flatbush Avenue to Rockaway Parkway.
Nice shot through, Private.
You'd make any post office employee proud. Now then, it has come to our attention that an individual, a figure of menace, is occupying one of the highest offices in the chain of command of my beloved country's governmental structure. While we have always viewed this person as a possible threat, we didn't understand the full dimensions of the peril he poses until very recent actions by him were revealed during an event in Washington. However, now we know. Maggots, this son of a bitch, it is now clear, will stop at nothing to capture the reins of power in this nation. Nothing is above him, and believe me, nothing is beneath him in achieving this goal. Private, give me slide 1. Here he is, gentlemen, the lowest, most malevolent, loathsome, and yet cunning creature this republic has ever dealt with. Can anyone identify him? Oh, I see. Everybody can. Well, we need just one. Yes, you way in the back.
Sir, the close-set eyes, sir. The psychotically self-conscious erect bearing as though he was getting a prostate exam with a hat rack. The hair moosed with 3M window caulk, trying ineffectively to cover the sand trap bald spot, and especially the sharp aquiline nose that appears to have been dunked in Shinola. That's Al Gore, sir.
Correct, Private. President, Vice, States, United of. Al Gore, who with his dewy-eyed, groveling policy slave, one Paul Begala, revealed a depth of desperation heretofore unknown in the annals of American political history at a high-profile charity function in the District of Columbia. After, for years, having been referred to by broadcasting's Don Imus as... Private, could you join me here?
Yes, sir.
As?
Sir, Imus described Al Gore as an evil, bald-headed, tree-hugging, owl-sucking, tobacco-touting, Clinton alibi and sister-exploiting, indictment-ducking, Buddhist-milking, two-faced, empty-suit fraud who'd make Marion Barry look like W.E.B. Du Bois, sir.
Exactly, Private. After all of that, Al Gore, reminded by Begala of Imus's 10 million potential voter radio audience, rolled over for Imus and allowed himself to be violated, you know how and you know where, and then added to his self-subjugation by inserting his nose so far up the I-man's plumber's crack, even meter readers hadn't been there. In a video presentation, Al Gore donned an Auto Body Express shirt, a cowboy hat, and looking plaintively into the camera, asked, "May I call you Don?" Boys, the dangers posed by this man cannot be overstated. You will be on alert, as we never can predict where Al Gore's nose will turn up next. To protect yourselves, I am changing the uniform of the day. Until further notice, or at least until after the New Hampshire primary, you will remove your combat helmets from your heads and strap them instead over your asses.
That's a good one there, sir.
Thank you for your attention. That is all.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. Take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy. The nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away.
Imus in the morning.
Next week could be the week that changes everything. The week you discover the on-ramp to the fast track. The week you connect with the technology revolution. The week you learn what you need to make smarter business and financial decisions. It could be the week if you pick up a copy of Business Week. The fall of the Berlin Wall marked the start of a new Europe. Now, 10 years later, the impact is still being felt all over the world. Technology and business are driving forces into new Europe, now ideology, or not ideology, and politics. In a special report, Europe 10 years later, Business Week looks at the incredible changes in Europe since the wall came down and looks ahead to
Morning 2020 Sports with a stupid, lazy, inferior American sportscaster, Warner Wolf.
Good morning, Warner. Good morning, bonjour, man. Each winning Yankees full share for winning the World Series, $326,000 per player.
You're kidding.
$326,000 per player. They split $14 million.
What's the loser's share?
The loser's share, $217,000 per man, full share.
God, oh, man. Man, that's a lot of money.
A lot of money. A lot of
huge amount of money.
That's right.
Losing?
That's for losing. Now, 50 years ago, each Yankee winning share for being in the Dodgers in 1949, $5,000 per man, which was a little less than guys were making in the regular season. Several of the world champion Yankees appeared on the David Letterman show last night to participate in the top 10 list, including final game winner Roger Clemens.
I don't play for the money. I play because I like having guys pat me on my ass.
Roger Clemens. Come on. You want more scoring in overtime in the National Hockey League?
We don't care.
You've got more scoring.
Uh-oh.
The new 4-on-4 overtime rule seems to be paying off. Less overtime ties. Last night in overtime, the Flames beat Ottawa 4-3. In overtime, the Flyers beat Colorado 5-4. Here's Tim Saunders of WIP, Philadelphia.
Tips it to center right, fires right back in. Telepuka into the backhand. Telepuka score! 8.2 seconds left in overtime.
That's it. More goals in overtime. Don't try to horn in on the White House. The International Olympic Committee wants to set up a drug agency which is designed to supervise worldwide drug testing. However, the White House says we don't need your help. We can handle this ourselves. We don't want your fingers in our business. Says White House drug spokesman Barry McCaffrey, butt out. We don't need you to undercut our decision-making. But if you still have some under-the-table gifts from the scandal, we'll see what we can do.
That'll be fine.
College football last night, Colorado State blew a 24-3 third-quarter lead, then came back, beat Utah 31-24. Are you looking for a punt returner?
No.
Well, despite that, I-Man, remember the name Dallas Davis. Here's Bill Mancroft of KRNS.
Davis takes it at the 11. Jukes by one and goes up the middle to the 25. Vaults over another. Wetman is the only one that can get him. He can't. And it's a punt return for Davis for a touchdown.
But the question is, can he do it again?
He gets off a high punt, but it's not hanging enough. Davis has got it at the 45. He gets up to the 50. He's free at the 40. He's free at the 30. And he's free at the 25. He's going to return it for a touchdown.
The 6'4", 220-pound Davis caught 7 punts, returning for 214 yards.
Good wow.
Get that guy now, right?
Unbelievable.
He's ready for the pros.
It's 7:52, 8 minutes till the hour here in New York City, and 8 minutes out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It will be 6 a.m., but they open at the Auto Body Express, 6 a.m. Mountain Time. And you can call them at 1-800-272-1957. A new catalog is out. It's got a picture of Mrs. Imus and a little Wyatt Imus on the cover.
Very cute. Yeah.
Sitting on the front porch out there at the ranch.
Yep.
And I-Man's wearing the drifter jacket this morning, which is a great jacket. We were going to call it the barn jacket, but...
No, it's like the drifter jacket.
But it's a great... It's made out of 14.5-ounce canvas duck, 100% cotton. Got a corduroy collar on it, and it's kind of a light khaki color, isn't it?
Yep. So kind of a plaid tartan lining in it.
Half of them are already gone. So I warned you about this.
Sure.
So you need to call them this morning. All these faded polo shirts, they're almost out of those. They're almost out of the Buffalo Big Boy T-shirts. They're all those oversized T-shirts come in those faded colors that are just great looking. Kind of a denim color, a color almost the same color as the jacket. We've got great corduroy shirts. I mean, it's just all of this stuff made in the USA. Now, we would like to make it in Taiwan or China or down there in Honduras and pay these 11-year-old kids 60 cents an hour, but my brother won't do that.
Refuses.
So, yeah. So the profit margin is very low at ABX, but, you know, there are some things you want to do in life other than just apparently pay off the line of credit. So call them this morning, 1-800-272-1957. The Auto Body Express is sponsored by Nikon, and we got big news from Nikon coming up next week.
I know.
This Coolpix digital camera, they have a limited edition of them, only 2,000 of them. They are numbered. Get a certificate of authenticity. You can only buy them on the internet at Nikon's internet address, and for every camera they sell, $500 is going to go to the ranch. So if they sell all their cameras, that's $1 million.
Wow, man, oh man, this is enormous.
6 minutes now till the hour. And we had this big confrontation yesterday between Francesa and Bobby Valentine.
Well,
I'm being attacked by my own staff here.
Well, of course you're being attacked by your own staff. All he has done here is follow the Imus model.
He went to the Imus School of Spineless Behavior.
Well, I greatly resent that.
Well, you can resent it or not, but
I've criticized Larry King to his face. What are you talking about?
That's a lie.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Well, we can't get a hold of Francesa, but here's his partner, Chris Russo.
Good morning, Don.
Bernard and Charles and Lou are claiming that Mike acted, well, like I act with some of these guys.
A mouse.
Charlie, you thought that Mike did not go after him?
I didn't hear any of the same kind of vitriol or anything that we heard on Sunday.
Well, you know
Bernard used the word coward.
I wouldn't be surprised if right now Bill Parcells and Bobby Valentine are making a sandwich out of Francesca in some hotel room.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Hey, man, what's up?
Nothing, dude.
Man, I won't go near that parade.
Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Right down there on Yankee Yard, right down there, almost at City Hall right now, aren't you?
With Susan and Derek Jeter, Johnny. Oh, what a disgrace.
Well,
Yankees win their 25th World Series, 3 in 4 years, and I got to be on the air today. You got to be kidding me.
Well,
I've said it before. At least, Chuck grew up in Missouri. Chuck's a Cardinal fan.
Yeah.
That's the disgrace with you. You grew up in Pasadena, California.
No, I didn't.
I mean, you are a Dodger fan. Drysdale, Koufax, late 50s, early 60s. I mean, and all of a sudden, you moved to New York in 72. Steinbrenner comes in, spends money. Here comes Thurman. Go Yankees. I mean, come on, Don.
Well.
What do you mean, well?
Well, I gave Kara all of my Yankee stuff this morning, my Yankee hat, my Yankee T-shirt and sweatshirt, because she's a Yankee fan.
Well, you're not a Yankee fan, Don.
Oh, I love the Yankees.
No, you're a phony. You're not a Yankee fan.
So has now your partner, of course, Francesca, is legitimately a Yankee fan,
He's
right?
a legit Yankee fan.
Yeah.
And, Yankee fans can be very arrogant. You know that, Don.
Well,
Very cocky.
Francesca was going around before the series started, after the Mets series, and before the World Series started, saying about the Atlanta Braves, now they have to play the varsity.
That's what I mean about the arrogance.
Turns out he was right, doesn't
That's what I mean. Let's talk Jets football with Mike right now. I mean, how do the Yankees win their third and fourth? I mean, I'm a Giants fan. I haven't gotten a sniff in 30, 40 years.
Oh, well, how did you become a Giants fan, by the way?
You know the story. My old man never would take me to Yankee Stadium to watch the Yankees. He was always very, very difficult. Never wanted to deal with the traffic over the Triborough Bridge. He drove me nuts about Joe DiMaggio. So I rebelled. I rebelled, very much like Wyatt will do. Wyatt will never listen to the radio when he gets older as long as he lives.
Christopher Russo's father and mother now living out, by the way, in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
By the way, Don, I want to go visit them for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if I can hitch a ride with you on that plane.
Well, we're going out the 17th. Yes, you could.
I can.
Yeah.
I can bring my family?
Absolutely.
Oh, baby. Wyatt and Timmy fighting on a plane. How about that?
Have fun at the parade.
Thank you, Don.
Christopher Russo here on the Imus Morning program. Well, Chris is the head of what they call the Crack Committee, which is a sort of an amorphous amalgam of anti-Yankee fans who hate the Yankees. Not necessarily Mets fans, but
No. You don't have to be a Mets fan.
Fans who have an abject aversion to not just the Yankees, because actually most people like the Yankees.
Yeah.
The team itself, the manager and all of that. It's the fans who they hate. They hate us.
The Francesas of the world.
Yeah, exactly. The arrogant pantloads.
Now they got to play the varsity people.
Yeah, that kind of deal. So, 8 minutes after the hour. Fred Imus and Chris Collinsworth is coming up. And we'll talk to them about...
You don't have Steak Shapiro's number handy, do you?
Well...
Because whenever he's on, I want to buy a buttload. That boy had to be seriously medicated or drunk to go through what he did yesterday.
Well...
The days of swine and trichinosis. Steak Shapiro, the other white meat. I mean, I know he wouldn't eat it, but with a name like Shapiro, I'm kind of surprised you got him to do anything that had to do with pork. Because you know how... Hey, are you getting ready for Halloween?
Well, no.
I'm telling you, everybody in Washington sure is. Gary Bauer and Alan Keyes are going to be ringing doorbells dressed up like themselves because they're looking to see if they can find anybody who knows who the hell they are. Pat Buchanan's also going to be going door to door, but he'll be wearing an armband, and I think he's looking for Jews. And after that really expensive Beauty and the Beast deal a couple Halloweens ago, Al and Tipper Gore aren't going to wear costumes this year. She's just going to stand next to him, and they're trick-or-treating as the number 10. You know, Bubba's idea for a treat is a trick. So he's going naked on a pair of roller skates. He's going to be a pull toy. Give me an idea for a whole lot of penis costumes, man. Halloweenies. Stick a pair of dark round glasses on your pecker. You can go as Howard Stern.
That'll be fine.
Slap a pair of wax teeth. Hey, I got to go bring some Valium over to George W.'s house. He's in kid in the Bruce Willis movie? He swears he saw a dead guy last night. I gotta go tell him it was just Steve Forbes on that debate.
Roger Clinton here on the Imus Morning Program. Time for the national news and all that. Here's Chuck McCoy. Good morning, Charles.
Morning, I-Man.
Stations Fan Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning. 2020 sports.
Jeff Wilkins going to set up for the field goal. Angle to the left side. The kick is up, and it is no good.
The St. Louis Rams finally lose. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. Mike Bush the call. KSD Radio in St. Louis. The only undefeated team left in the NFL has been defeated. Rams drop a 24-21 decision to the Titans in Tennessee. Had a chance to tie it, as you heard it there, in the final seconds, but Jeff Wilkins missed it. And a chippy 38-yard field goal. At least for a professional football kicker, that's a chippy. Coach Dick Vermeil was asked about the Wilkins miss.
Hey, he missed it. You say he missed it. You know, what do you say? You know, he's part of our team, and we support him. If he misses 3 or 4 like that in a row, then he but he's not that kind of kicker. He's a fine kicker.
A fine kicker until he misses a 3 or 4 in a row.
There you go.
Then he's an out-of-work kicker.
He starts wolfing on him, doesn't he?
Wow.
Man.
Vermeil, not happy, wept openly at the post-game press conference and said despite the loss, he still loves his players and loves the game of football. Fred Imus' Cleveland Browns get their first win. Browns beat, who else? The Saints in New Orleans, 21-16, and they won it on a last-second 56-yard Hail Mary touchdown pass.
Wonder how Fred did this week.
5-4.
5-4?
Yep.
Mediocrity.
Yeah, mediocrity.
Not good.
No. Browns had enough time to go for it because the Saints called a few timeouts down the stretch. Here's Saints coach Mike Ditka's take on those timeouts.
I didn't call the timeout. I don't call the timeout. The guys on the field called it. Yet the lineman called one earlier, which he shouldn't have called. But when Billy Joe called it, he came out, he said, I should have waited. Of course he should have waited, but he didn't wait. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in 2 places at one time.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Control your guys, stupid. Coach him.
He was just worried about not grabbing his crotch this week.
On the edge.
Iron Mike.
That's a problem.
It's going to happen. Fifth time this season.
How'd you like
to
be Mrs. Ditka this morning?
Come on, wrap it up.
Man.
5th time this season they lost a 4th quarter lead. How about the Dolphins? Without Dan Marino, win again. They have a great defense. Knocked off the Raiders in Oakland 16-9. Dolphins are now 6-1. In the big game tonight, Seattle playing at Green Bay as Mike Holmgren returns to Lambeau Field. And that's sports. I'm Mike Breen.
Governor Christy Whitman with more about New Jersey's exits to opportunity. Did you know that in recent years, more than 1 in 3 new FDA-approved drugs have been developed by New Jersey firms? In fact, there's a higher concentration of scientists working here than in any other state, and 10% of our workforce works in information technology. From software to superconductors, digital phones to high-definition TV, there are nearly 7,000 technology companies here. And with 25% of the nation's private research and development money spent here, it's no wonder we're home to many of the world's leading pharmaceutical and biotech companies. In New Jersey, we provided over $500 million in financing to 300 companies in 1 year alone. To find out what we can do for you, call Prosperity New Jersey today at 1-888-9-PROSPER. That's 1-888-9-PROSPER. Because with exits like these, there's no telling how far you can go.
Sponsored by Summit Bank and Prosperity, New Jersey.
You say a lot of bad words.
Me? Well, I don't know.
Now be honest.
Okay, sometimes at work.
Do you eat your lunch close to dinner time? Morning. Well, thank you as always, J.D., for inviting me on your excellent broadcast. Regrettably, my time is limited this morning, so if I may, I'd like to move right into my subject areas.
Good.
I'd like to focus today on an event of recent interest. Could I do that? Return to a matter of a few days ago?
No.
Good. Thank you. I'm sure, because I've heard you chatting about it, that you were in the television audience for the Democratic and Republican presidential candidates forums in New Hampshire, yes?
Yeah.
Very well. Now, I was unaware, Dono, that our recent robot machine
missions to Mars had not only found life there, but had actually recovered it and returned it to Earth. There can be no other plausible explanation for the people who were on that stage last week at Dartmouth. Jesus, what was Al Gore trying to accomplish? Is he up for some DA role in a cop movie or something? First of all, he was sweating like a lawn sprinkler. And did you see him stalk toward the front of the stage when some poor sap in the audience was asking him a question? And then he talks back to them like he was getting ready to rubber hose them.
How long have you been married? What's your wife look like? Do you have any children in a chat room? Answer me!
Shut up, you f***ing fool. Jeez, he sounded like he was getting ready to read them their Miranda rights or something. Yeah. And Senator Bradley, my God, do you take a lot of blows to the head playing basketball? He just looked lost, didn't he?
Well,
and you described him as Lincoln-esque?
Well, I did, yeah.
Before or after the theater? God almighty, Dono, wake up. But you know something? Bradley and Gore, in my view, were positively towering compared to the next night when the Republicans put on their little skit. Good Lord. Now, Senators Hatch and McCain appear to be fairly harmless. Orrin's a nice man, although he's definitely at the hardware store without a project, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And McCain might climb a tower with a rifle on you, but they seem okay for now. But my God, those other three? I mean, I'm looking at Steve Forbes, Dono, and I'm thinking, when did Nicky Lauder the Budweiser ferret? Is there another explanation for Steve Forbes?
No.
Excuse me, but I don't think so. And there's Gary Bauer, obviously lacking some sort of growth hormone when he was a kid that left everything stunted except his eyes. I can't look at those things. Did somebody hit him in the back of the head with a shovel? He's creepy. Looks exactly like the kind of guy who goes to funerals out of prurient interest. Everybody else is viewing the body, saying, she looks so natural. He's saying, nice. Jesus. And finally, can somebody just throw a net over Alan Keyes? My God, Al, settle down. You're not talking to a Panthers rally. You're absolutely right, I do. He's been at this so long, he's become a caricature of himself. I can't look at him now without thinking, little rascals. It isn't Alan Keyes, it's Ambassador Stymie. Ouch! And there you have it, Dono. A woody Index-scope. Presidential timber, you get it? As hewn today by Dick Nixon, who once himself was the leader of the entire free world. Pretty frightening, eh?
25 after the RS, as a matter of fact.
Totally right.
Yeah. So,
yes.
So Ozzy, you're a Boston Terrier.
Bug-eyed dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whose name is actually what?
Champion Wizard of Oz of Arj. I don't know. It's some 27 characters long. Ozzy.
Right. But the dog is the #1 Boston Terrier in the country.
Yep.
By virtue of having won all of these various shows all over the country.
Correct.
And there was a big one in New Jersey.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Sponsored by the Lenape, New Jersey Boston Terrier Club with a big entry, and that's important, how many dogs he's got to defeat.
Right. And remember that dog who he was vying against all the time?
Yes.
Where's that dog?
That dog is, he's well ahead of that dog. That was a bitch that he was, in fact, vying for top Boston. Not just top male or top bitch, but top dog.
Right.
He's top dog now.
Right.
So it was a very nice show yesterday.
But did that dog show up for this showdown yesterday?
No, it did not.
So
ducking.
So how's the dog's not ever going to get back into the running? Because Ozzy overtook that dog, right?
Yes, as a matter of fact. When Ozzy won the national deal this year, I mean, that was a big thing that, put him out in front quite a bit, and he's continued to win a lot. And as you say, it's like Dale Jarrett. So far ahead on points, that can't be caught.
Dale Jarrett being a NASCAR race driver.
Yeah.
Does he win every competition?
Not every, but he usually wins the breed. He usually does. Best of breed every time. And then they move to the next, the non-sporting group, and they go against every dog who's won his breed.
Sure.
And sometimes places well in that.
Has a Boston Terrier ever won Best of Show at the Westminster?
Absolutely not. No, that's not gonna happen. But he's a good candidate to win his breed at Westminster, which would be that's a big win.
Why has a Boston Terrier never won the Best of Show at the Westminster?
Popularity of the breed.
I see.
Other breeds are a lot more popular.
It's always like some poodle or something.
A poodle, a golden retriever, one of the setters,
Some fix in over there?
Oh, no, nothing like that. German shepherds.
This is very political, though, isn't it?
There's some politics involved in anything like that, yeah.
No.
But it's not very. I mean, there's the
Anybody
fix-it
we
man.
could get to?
We can investigate it. No.
We know Karras. We know him, don't we? What's
Roger
he?
Karras? Yeah. He's a good guy, yes. But he has no influence on the outcome of the program, man.
Can we offer some people some money?
Can we try to find somebody to influence?
Money, drugs, babes, whatever. Or guys, whatever.
These people are incorruptible.
Oh, please.
But now everybody has their price.
Absolutely. No, we want the dog to win fair and square.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, we do.
Sure we do. That's right. And he's done great.
Well, you know, we have the number 3 Texas Longhorn bull in the country.
Which is huge.
Well,
no, but I mean, I know.
Not number 1, so.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, if you got the number 3 animal of anything.
The ranch does.
I got you.
So.
That's a big deal.
If you're a contributor to the ranch, which you are.
Yes.
You can take a certain amount of pride in that.
And I do.
River Wide is the name of our bull. So.
Yeah.
It's a big bull. With a big penis.
With a number 3 big penis bull.
But the dog, Ozzy's number 1. There's a little penis.
Yeah, yes, he does. He's hot. He's on a roll.
He really is.
Yeah, he honestly is.
How many? Well, the Westminster's in February, right?
Yeah.
So how many more shows now before?
Well, most.
You never see the dog now, right?
Well,
we saw him yesterday.
Saw him yesterday, and he'll be home for Christmas. He'll get a break.
Right. How long will he be home?
About a month, probably. And
you have to be careful with him, not let him.
Well, when you let him out back to do his business, you don't let the coyotes get him.
Right.
So
that'd be unfortunate, wouldn't it?
That would be unfortunate, right? I'd hate for that to happen for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's a cute little devil.
And then does he recognize either you or Connie?
Oh, of course. He just goes crazy. Sure. But he loves Barbara Beisel, his handler, as well, as he should,
right.
Which we're delighted to see, by the way.
Kind of like Wyatt and the nanny. He loves the nanny, and he loves us.
Perfect analogy.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's I like that. Well, he should.
Sure. Of course he does.
You don't want him to not like the
No,
trainer.
Because that reflects how she cares for her animals. So.
What's her story? She might be a whack job, right?
She's not. She's a lovely lady.
Is she married or?
No.
Not married?
No.
Have it on. Just drives around in a Winnebago with the dogs, right?
Exactly. This huge, freaking, traveling mobile dog deal.
That's a funky lady, ain't it? Don't you think? I mean,
she's a sweetheart.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
Oh, she is. She's just the best.
Has she ever been married?
I do not know her personal history. No, I don't.
How old is she, do you think?
Middle 40s, maybe.
A little whacked out with the dogs. Is that basically the deal?
She's. Well, you know how those people are. I mean, the people who adore animals. It's, I mean, that's her deal.
My wife adores animals, but she's not a nut.
Well, why does he think that this lady's a nut?
Well, I don't think she's a nut, but I mean, I just think, I think a little strange, don't you, Bernie?
Seems very odd. She might be looking for a little dog bone action herself.
Going to the cupboard. Looking for that bone.
Meow, 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 meow. Imus in the morning.
Well, we'll get to the bottom of this whole thing, but the dog's number 1. That's all we care about.
That's it.
And, the animals, they actually like this. They like, they like learning new stuff. They like being trained. It's like horses. They love it. Hey, did you see what's in Newsweek? It's the best way to stay connected to the news you care about and stories that have people talking. On this week's cover, HMO Hell, ranking the biggest plans. The war for patients' rights and fixing managed care. Is there a better way? Plus, the supermodel egg scramble, those lovable Yankees. But Bernie was very funny as a Cardinal, too.
I was disappointed.
Did you know Bernie was a Cardinal?
What do you mean? What are you saying?
Your two-legged hemorrhoid, you bejesus.
Very good.
I don't get it.
Anyway, he didn't do anything that was, I made him show me his script before.
Yeah.
So.
Ran it past the eye sensor.
Well, because sometimes he just doesn't understand. So.
We're not going to have any dripping jizz jokes in the thing. Damn it. Let me see that.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I don't think we need them now either, by the way.
Oh, my God.
No open pus.
No, come on here. I don't care what he says about me.
Good grief.
Nothing coming out of anything, nothing going in.
Well, here's the thing.
Nothing descriptive about that.
Everybody talks about how old and wrinkled up I am, except I don't look old and wrinkled up. I mean, I don't look 30, but I don't look 80 either, or 70 or 60. So
Look good on the. I actually look good on camera.
yeah, so I actually look pretty good. So it's a shock to people when they say, "Wait a minute, you don't."
You watched the same thing we were watching Saturday night?
Almost lifelike.
Anyway, I was happy to raise money for Judy Woodruff, Al Hunt, Jeffrey Hunt, spina bifida people, and I would do really anything for them. So, I would do anything for them. So, they asked me to do something, I would do it. I wouldn't even hesitate. So, it's like the Tomorrow's Children's Fund. The answer would be yes, and I don't care what I wouldn't ask them what it was. I'd just say yes. I'd be happy to do it. So. And if you can get involved, I know there's lots of stuff that you have to give money to, or you're asked to give money to, but one of the most courageous people I've ever met is Jeffrey Hunt, Judy Woodruff and Al Hunt. I'm going to talk with him, see what he's doing. Well, I mean, you can't make it up, can you?
No.
17 after the hour.
Well, I gotta get drunk and I sure do dread it, cause I know just what I'm gonna do. Start spending my money, calling everybody honey, and wind up singing the blues. I spend my whole paycheck on some old wreck, and brother, I can name you a few. Well, I gotta get drunk and I sure do dread it, cause I know just what I'm gonna do.
Well, I gotta get drunk, Lord, I can't stay sober. There's a lot of good people in town. They love to hear me holler, see me spend my dollars. I wouldn't think of letting them down. Well, there's a lot of good doctors keep telling me, George, you better start slowing it down.
But there's more old drunks than there are old doctors, so I guess we better have another round. Imus in the morning.
Every time anybody uses a computer.
Zen-sucking weasel.
You don't remember.
I don't remember. You show me the tape. I've always liked Phil Jackson.
What exactly did he say at his press conference that turned you around on him?
I'm not sure, except I know that he's an Imus fan, that's all.
He mentioned your name.
Well, yeah, they asked him if he listened to Stern. He said no, he listens to Imus. So
how shallow is that?
That's all.
Who am I going to be loyal to? I'm going to be loyal to the people who are loyal to me, you idiot. Who else would I be loyal to?
There are a lot of NBA coaches who are big fans of this show.
Exactly, but none of them have made a public pronouncement, as Coach Jackson did.
So all a coach has to do is make a public pronouncement of what a fan they are of you and the show.
Yeah.
And you'll be on their side.
Well, it depends.
How about that guy that used to coach the Nets, Mike? What's his name?
Bill Fitch.
Yeah.
Bill Fitch.
Well, who's he coaching now?
Well, he's not coaching.
No, he's not, is he? So.
How about Bruce Kozlov?
How about
You're not
Bruce
exactly
Kozlov?
on his bandwagon, this poor Bengals.
No. Well, he's not getting it done out there.
Oh, see, there you go.
No, but I mean,
he was 7-1 instead of 1-7.
No.
Hey, Bruce, my man.
Front runner.
No. He still is my man, Bruce Kozlov. Coach Kozlov. I love the Cosman.
Oh, please.
But the Lakers, it's basketball season. It's not football season. It's basketball season. I'm a Laker fan from now on. That's it. In fact, I have been a Laker fan, by the way, going back to Elgin Baylor and when Jerry West was playing. So what are you talking about?
Well, they had any black guys.
I know Jeff Van Gundy, Larry Brown, big fans of the show. Coach of the Knicks, coach of the Sixers.
I like Larry Brown. I like Ivan Allison, whatever his name is.
Ivan Allison?
Whatever. Man after my own heart, carrying a gun. I like...
You like Paul Westphal?
Yes, I do. I love Paul Westphal.
Oh, sure.
Right. Yeah.
They have no ring.
What team's he coaching?
He coaches the Seattle Supersonics.
Very good.
We're going to
I like out there tonight.
Oh, man, it could have been anything.
I like...
Our coaches are Denver Nuggets.
I hate the Knicks. The Knicks suck. They're a disgraceful team. The coach is not a fan. I hate him.
He is.
You get the you get the coach on tape to say that he is a fan of the Imus Morning program, and I'll reevaluate my position on the Knicks.
That's credibility for you.
Right now. There you go.
At least you're being upfront about it. That I admire.
Who am I going to be loyal? I mean, that's the point. But the point is, that's why I'm loyal to Carville.
I would do anything for James Carville, and I mean anything. I would always be loyal to Carville. I don't care what kind of idiotic, preposterous positions he takes about anything.
That's not the point.
That is not the point.
So if OJ said, yeah, I think I like the I-Man.
You have to reward loyalty with your own loyalty, with your own allegiance to these people, unless they're just dirtbags.
You know, I go way back to Billy Saw Hoggers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm with Phil on the triangle offense, Tex and all of them, and Shaq Fu.
Right, Mr. Hollywood in there.
Yeah.
Front runner.
I'm a Laker.
Kicking ass tonight. Where's that game tonight? Is it at
Salt Lake City.
Okay, so.
The mailman.
Yeah.
Pretty book Jack Nicholson next week.
No, that's not the kind of. No, my allegiance is not to those Hollywood phonies.
You know, Diane Cannon doesn't have such a saggy ass afro.
my allegiance is to my man Phil. So, come on, baby.
Shaq, this is so
Shaq
weak.
The Laker girls.
Oh my God.
No, the Laker girls. They have nothing to do with it. So,
Favorite announcer, Chick Hearn?
Yes, I do. I happen to like Chick.
Oh, I love Chick Hearn.
You know,
Getting it done. She started out as an intern on the Imus in the Morning program.
from 17 feet outside the key or whatever. You know, yeah, we got it going on. Chick's my man. So, anyway, what else?
Hockey note. Washington general manager.
Shut up about hockey. We hate hockey.
Well, wait a minute. This could be interesting. Come on.
No, we hate hockey. Sucks.
Fine.
God, hockey. Hock this.
Could be amusing.
Yeah, until one hockey coach says how much they love you.
No, that would never work. Any difference? No.
Scotty Bowman wears a shirt.
Scotty Bowman.
He's got his standards. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's nothing a hockey coach could do. Nothing.
Ballard, what's up?
Hi there, Andy. Listen, I need to talk to you about that massive satellite dish of yours. My kids' fillings are picking up Bulgarian soap operas.
No worries, Ballard. I'm moving.
Moving, huh?
Oh,
Imus in the morning.
Listen up, people. Copyright 1999, CBS Radio, all rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. That is all.
This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule, an indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled this station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume tomorrow morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is John Minko. You wanted to be around it.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
And good morning, everybody.
everybody. Russ Salzberg with you here on this Tuesday morning, the second day of November, 1999. The number, as always, is 718-937-6666. And as always, seated to my right, my partner, Steve Summers. It is the Sweater and the Schmoozer.
I'd have said Tuesday morning.
On Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York. We're not leaving any place. We're here for another hour. That's right. 4 for the price of 3 today, because Mike and the Mad Dog will be over at Madison Square Garden as the Knicks get ready to open up their season tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we got another hour coming up right here on Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan, WFAN.
The senior senator from the state of Connecticut is Christopher J. Dodd. And we saw him the other night at the spina bifida dinner, and God, I mean, he looked great. I mean, I wouldn't just say now you see somebody say, hey, you look great, you don't really mean it. Yeah, but he really did look great. Good morning, Senator Dodd.
Good morning, Imus.
Man, you look terrific, Senator.
Stop by to see you, say hello. How are things going? I don't even get invited, of course, to be a roaster.
I don't know how that happened. I couldn't believe they had to invite 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
They should have had Ventura and Trump and Moe and Curly and, the rest of them.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
That's who I'm supporting now, by the way, is Trump. So
make Ross Perot look normal, these guys. bring back Ross. Ventura, Trump, and Buchanan, my God.
Man, he's going over there now, yeah.
Buchanan, what's he? He's selling books or burning them now. I can't ever figure out what's going on.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Rain. Wet, wet, wet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody wants to know how I survive being married to a bitch like Hillary. Well, I keep my options open, scoping out the booty. I must admit that I've been critiqued, cause my spirit is willing, but my flesh is weak. I've had Jennifer, Monica, Paula, Kathy, Willie. Something about a hottie make me wanna act silly. But what can I say? I really gotta thank God, cause though everyone they saw through my facade and know about my improprieties, they don't care. I have a penchant for variety. A little bit of Monica Sweater me, a little Miss America in my backseat, a little bit of Jennifer, such a tease, a little bit of Kathy Willie's fun's to squeeze, a little bit of Paula's quite enough, a little bit of that Juanita playing rough, a little bit of cheating on my wife brings a little bit of meaning to my life. Bimbo number 5. Jump them bones to make the ladies moan. Just sit on the throne while they play my saxophone. Underneath my desk or in the back of a car, do a number less with a Cuban cigar. Have a little fun until I'm satisfied, and when it's over and done, I just throw in my side. A little Monica Sweater me, a little Miss America in my backseat, a little bit of Jennifer, such a tease, a little bit of Kathy Willie's fun's to squeeze, a little bit of Paula's quite enough, a little bit of that Juanita playing rough, a little bit of cheating on my wife brings a little bit of meaning to my life. Bimbo number 5. A little bit of Monica Sweater me, a little Miss America in my backseat, a little bit of Jennifer, such a tease, a little bit of Kathy Willie's fun's to squeeze, a little bit of Paula's quite enough, a little bit of that Juanita playing rough, a little bit of cheating on my wife brings a little bit of meaning to my life. I don't know what you were expecting, I'm just a man with a man's imperfections. I live my life with an endless erection. I'm leaving my wife once she wins the election. Bimbo number 5.
23 till the hour here on the Imus Morning program. Maureen Dowd on the op-ed page of the New York Times this morning. And on the Vice President dances with Wolf. No, Naomi Wolf. And
Bud told me what you basically said was that I was, to the company, a disloyal jerk.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Bingo.
you are the most perfect employee.
Yeah, I am.
And citizen of the world. How do you sleep at night? Here's a guy, folks, who is the phoniest bastard who ever walked down.
What are you talking about?
Here's a guy, folks, that if an engineer walked by his office and spilled something, he'd be on the phone to Mike Lynn. He'd have his bags packed and be out of the building in 10 minutes.
If your radio like sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Here's Mr. Chernoff now, the program director.
Who's easier to work with, me or him?
You're the easiest person to work with at the radio station.
I respect
There's
that.
no question about that.
But I mean, now see, Mike thinks, now Mike's my friend, by the way. He thinks that you guys have put me up to this, which is not true.
That's
is it?
absolutely
no, that's
not true.
Well, this sounds
Okay.
like collusion. Right now it does.
How?
I haven't, have I? I mean, you're talking about leading the witness. My God.
Sounds like Bill Clinton talking to Betty Curry. Well, maybe a little bit there, but I mean...
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
All right, let's say you make a little mistake, like maybe you forgot to...
Well, man, what a weird-looking little dude.
Hi, man, play ball.
Well, let's start off with the fact that my Lakers won, you know.
That's it. That's the
They're
lead.
my team this year.
That's
Did you know that?
The I-Man stamp of approval right
absolutely.
here.
Lakers on the road.
On the road.
That's it. With my man Phil in the triangle offense.
That's it.
Come on, baby.
You got it.
Yeah.
91-84, the Lakers over the Jazz. Glenn Rice, 28. Shaq had 23 points, 13 boards, and a very impressive 5 out of 11 from the foul line.
You know, here's a problem with Shaq.
Yeah.
Is that you can get better at foul shooting if you practice.
Yes.
Yeah. So, clearly...
He don't care.
Well, I don't know what he cares or not. Warner signed him over to Reebok Gym practicing, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
But,
yes. Shooting foul shots all by himself.
It's not good, though. I mean, you have an obligation to get better.
To improve.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Really?
Absolute. Come on.
Lazy.
So they
Let's
won't
go.
That's right. They won't foul this guy at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know.
That's the strategy every game.
And the Knicks won, I guess, right?
The Knicks won. Eastern Conference champion Knicks, up by 2 in the fourth quarter, went on a 14-0 run, beat the Cavs 92-84.
How'd Phoenix do?
Phoenix, they lost. The Suns lost.
How about Houston? How'd they do?
Houston lost.
How did Portland do with Scotty?
Scottie Pippen had 14 points.
Oh, he did?
And Portland won.
All right.
Yeah. Is this a quiz?
No, I'm just
checking the scores.
No, these are games I'm interested in.
Oh, I see.
Now, I'm in the hoops this year.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Now, here's another question.
Right.
How did that new rule change affect play? You know, clamping. They clamped down on hand checking and holding. No less than 91 foul shots. 91 foul shots taken in the Miami Pistons game.
Were the scores higher generally?
Let's see. 11 of the 26 teams scored 100 or more. So 15 did not.
Yeah, but that's more than, I mean, last year the Sacramento Kings were the only team that averaged over 100 points a game. Did you know that?
I know it now.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
Grant Hill had 40.
You should have me on your channel, too, sports thing. Interview the I-Man.
That's right. You want an open invitation.
I don't want to.
You don't want to. No. Defending champion Spurs raised their flag, broke open a 2-point lead with a 17-0 run in the fourth quarter, beat Philadelphia 89-76.
Hey, we need to hear from one of the people we gave tickets to the Larry King fundraiser last night over to Four Seasons Hotel with Ricky Martin and all that stuff.
Excellent play, I man.
1-800-370-IMUS. Well, you know what the number is. You called and won the tickets.
Of course you did. Come on.
If I gave you tickets, I bought 6 tickets to the Larry King deal at $1,000 a pop, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Then we gave them away, and so want to know how that went last night.
Get a little review going.
You got
here.
to meet Larry, for example.
Right.
Got to hang with Ricky.
Sure.
Anybody get licked up and
if Jose Feliciano bumped into you, whatever, you know. Warner continues.
I went to that dinner a couple years ago.
You did?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Baseball, a 9-player deal, 6 for 3. Texas sends 2-time MVP Juan Gonzalez and 2 others to the Tigers for starter Justin Thompson, reliever Francisco Cordero, and 4 others.
Yankees renewed the options on Paul O'Neill and on
Darryl Strawberry. That's right. And are you looking for a future Hall of Fame center fielder? Ken Griffey Jr. has turned down the Mariners' 8-year offer, averaging $17 million per year. Told the Mariners he wanted to be traded. The Mariners said, okay, we'll grant your wish. Griffey turns 30 this month. Most people think he has the best shot at catching Aaron. He would have to average a little over 35 homers per year for 10 years. Of course, he hits 56 a year. He's got a good shot. He said he wanted to play closer to his home in Orlando. Now, wait a minute. I mean, I don't see Griffey playing center field for Tampa Bay or the Marlins.
No.
You got to be kidding.
No.
Here's Mariners CEO Howard Lincoln.
It's very important that we put this in proper perspective. This is a man who has made a very courageous decision. A decision to put his family ahead of everything else.
What?
Oh, get him out of here.
I mean, didn't you laugh when you heard that?
That's corporate feed. That's exact corporate feed. Baloney. He doesn't want to play for Seattle.
No. Period.
He's tired of playing for a loser.
Closer to his family. Hey, Kenny, move.
That's right.
Making $17 million a year at least.
Oh, man. Get that guy out. Seattle has a problem, you see.
Call Executive Jet, make a deal, fly back and forth every day.
Great.
I mean, she's
$17 million a year. Hello.
That's right. That's what Kevin Brown does. He flies his family back and forth.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. That's what a baloney.
Yeah, come on here.
Feed.
Get out.
Now, you know, Seattle has a problem, you see.
What is it?
Because they have Griffey and Alex Rodriguez.
Right.
Both of the contracts are up. Griffey makes 8 this year, Rodriguez 4.
Right.
So Rodriguez has already turned down $15 million.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to figure if they were going to keep these two guys next year, just two guys would be over $33 million for 1 year. What about the rest of them?
It's the entire payroll for the Padres. That's for 25 guys or whatever it is.
That's right. Who says 69 is too old? Reds manager Jack McKean, who took Cincinnati to a 19-game improvement over last year, Associated Press Manager of the Year. Red Sox Jimmy Williams second. Joe Torre and Bobby Valentine tied for 6th.
Jimmy Williams should have won that, by the way.
He could have. You wouldn't have any arguments on that.
Yeah, I like him.
Absolutely. Voters in St. Paul voted against the new stadium for the Twins, in essence saying, hey, we didn't support your crummy team in an old place. What makes you think we'd build a new place and watch them?
One of the Mets could get Ken Griffey Jr.
Well,
do they have money?
They have the money, sure.
Do they have the room and all that?
But what about the players? What would they have to give up in return? I think that's the key.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But they don't really have
to give up Olerud. They want to get rid of him anyway.
No, he's a free agent. You're not going to be able to trade him.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, get rid of Piazza.
Get rid of Piazza.
I would trade Piazza for...
You'd be trading a 30-year-old guy, knocks in 40 home runs, for a 30-year-old guy. Same deal.
Well, maybe I'd keep Piazza.
If you had both of those guys on the same team, my goodness.
Please.
you'd win that 6th and 7th game.
Yeah, you would, yeah. Well, if they could produce.
See, I don't think they have. I don't know. It depends what Seattle would. You know, what other teams are going to offer.
I heard the all-night guy at the radio station here in New York, WFAN, Joe Benigno.
Right.
As I was driving over here this morning, talking about Dwight Gooden, and the Indians passed on him.
Passed on. He's not coming back. Right.
But, I mean, it's over for him, isn't it?
I would think so.
Yeah.
He's finished.
Yeah.
Huh. He's 50 years old, isn't he?
Yeah.
We're so close.
But
he's 50.
But you know what's funny, if he was left-handed, a team would pick him up. There's a shortage of left-handed pitchers. That's the way it is. But he's not. So why are we talking about this? Why'd you bring that up?
You know, my wife used to be a good softball player.
Yeah.
And she's left-handed.
Well, see, there you go.
That's it. See, that's
you get her signed with somebody.
Absolutely. Exploiter, come on.
What else going on?
How about Ryan Leaf? Is this guy off?
What did he do now? He's been suspended or something,
Yeah,
right?
the guy hasn't played all year, injured shoulder, surgery. He's supposed to come back the end of November. He goes out, cusses out his boss, the general manager, Bobby Beathard, and also members of the conditioning staff. He didn't like the way they were working him out.
Right.
So he's been suspended 4 weeks and fined 1 game salary, $73,500.
Yeah.
But you know the bottom line here, it shows you how smart. Remember the Colts had a choice of picking either Leaf or Peyton Manning?
No.
Man, did they make the right choice.
No.
That's smart management. I mean, they could have picked Leaf just as well.
Yeah, but Manning could have also been a freak. It just turned out he was okay. Guy looks like he'd have a bolt in his neck anyway. Doesn't he? Peyton Manning looks like, well, he looks like Frankenstein.
Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This guy, right now, I don't think it's too premature. He could be the best quarterback in football right now. Again, there's a shortage of good football.
Yeah.
Johnny Unitas said it's the weakest position in the NFL, quarterback. Peyton Peyton Manning could be the best quarterback right now.
Here's Rick from Warsaw, Virginia, who went to the Larry King thing last night. Good morning, Rick.
Morning, man.
How was it?
Great. We had a real good time and got to talk to Mr. King. And
oh, you did?
Yes, sir. It was after the initial program, but everybody's kind of milling around and took a lot of pictures. And
how friendly was Larry?
Very, very friendly. Just wide open, having a good night. Everybody was in a real good mood, and everybody had a great time.
Who else did you see there?
Oh, let's see. Like you say, Jose Feliciano came up out of the blue, and when they had...
I mean, another Washington types. You can forget Jose Feliciano. Come on.
Washington type.
Yeah.
Linda Carter was there.
Who?
Linda Carter, the old Wonder Woman character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him at 9 feet tall.
Well, were people there like Ben Bradley, Sally Quinn?
I didn't see any of those folks. I was
Tim
kind of
Russert,
looking for Bo.
Maureen Orth.
Didn't see Bo. Didn't see any of those.
Judy Woodruff.
No, not that I was aware
Maureen
of.
Dowd.
No. If they were in disguise. But
yeah.
A lot of folks in the room, so we just kind of mingled around. And
how many people do you think were there all together?
Ooh. Probably about 1,200 or so.
Oh, well, then you could have easily missed these people.
Yeah, oh, yeah, there was folks there. My wife, on the way home, did you see so-and-so? No. Well, I was off in another direction, so.
Did you, with Stan, did you see Stan Bromley, the manager of the Four Seasons, was he there?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Was he drunk?
I don't believe so. Okay. There were a few of them walking around, and I think they were cardiologists. I sure wouldn't want me to get my chest cracked this morning up there.
Wow. So you wore a tuxedo and all that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then put on the dog for you.
Well, thanks for not embarrassing me, by the way.
Well, we didn't. We held ourselves, and...
That would have been ugly if you'd have gotten drunk and punched somebody or something.
No, my wife told me I couldn't go up there acting like a redneck. She'd never talk to me again, so... Cut off my hair, put on a tux, and blended right on in.
Like Halloween. I'm happy to hear a couple of things. One, you behaved yourself, and two, Larry was friendly.
Yeah, everybody was just as cordial, and you know...
Did you tell Larry how you got the tickets?
Yeah, well, I was taking my picture with him.
Oh, you weren't?
Yes, sir. He said, you're a good man.
He's a nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great man.
Yeah.
And the only problem was when they first made their entrance into the reception area, the press basically backed up over everybody. And, I mean, just knocking people out of the way. And...
Well, let's not start bitching about stuff, Rick.
Yeah.
You had a good time. Let's not turn this into an ugly phone call.
Okay.
All right.
But, you know, my wife wanted me to buzz Bernie this morning and thank y'all for...
Okay, fine. That's fine, Rick.
Okay.
Rick from Warsaw, Virginia, just wearing us out here.
It's enough.
Well, we're out of time, Warren. Did you have any other big story?
No, that's it.
Okay. Warren Wolf here in the Imus Morning Program, 4 till the hour.
Imus in the morning. A woman sits alone, banking on her computer.
In the primary when I was on your show, Fred, I gave sort of a tepid version of our platform, and Fred said, well, that doesn't sound like enough reason to change things. And I guess he was right.
He was right, yeah.
How about the old saying, lose the number?
Yeah, how about that? Here's Bob from Boston, who wants to be a New York Times volunteer on line 4. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Mr. Imus.
So we have the New York Times Manual of Style and Usage out now, available at bookstores everywhere, of course. And you are willing to work for the Imus Morning Program for no money.
Ready, willing, and able. I need a new hobby. Because I've spent my free time as the president of the Terry Irving fan club, and I need something else to do with my time.
How old are you?
40.
You have a job?
Yeah, I run a startup internet company. Just a doped-up yuppie trying to get rich off the internet, yeah.
How's it you have time to do this? That's what Charles knows.
Well, I've got to read a half a dozen newspapers every morning anyway for this internet site, so I've got to read it. I've already found a half a dozen errors today in the New York Times for you.
Wow. That violates their manual of style?
Absolutely.
Name one.
Well, on charter reform losses, on the editorial page is like, you know...
Oh, Hal. We know Hal is so
like
out of it.
shooting fish in a barrel, you know?
Exactly. I mean, really, it's just... Hal Raine is just so easy, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So they go, the second sentence goes, in New York they defeated. The third sentence goes, in Nassau, comma, voters. Now, the first rule is consistency. Use the comma or don't. But you can't use it once and then not use it a second time, you know?
We don't know if that's in there.
Oh, sure.
Well, we don't know that. Charles will have to look it up. We're going to look it up, Charles, see if, in fact, that violates...
But, I mean, the first rule of style is consistency, kind of just like you.
Well, he's saying that there's...
Just like you and your opinion of Al Gore, you know?
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Boy, there was a op-ed piece by George Plimpton the other day that had the most unusual punctuation for a sentence I think I've ever seen. I was going to bring it to Charles' attention. In fact, a couple of days ago, give me that op-ed piece from the New York Times. We have it around here somewhere. That idiotic piece that George Plimpton wrote that should have never been published anyway, about how he wound up in the Yankee parade.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
I sure did.
God, it was what was the point of running that?
What a waste of ink.
Jesus, God almighty. I don't know who's picking those op-ed pieces, but...
I got another one from today, Bob Herbert, which I know that Bernard probably reads this first thing every morning. The last sentence, we won the case, but it makes your skin crawl. They forgot a comma. Got to put a comma in front of the but.
Yep. Well, now, it's my understanding with the op-ed people...
So they don't have to follow the rules?
Well, I guess maybe they do.
I would hope so.
But they don't tell them what to write, though. I mean, they don't, in fact, I know they just because I called Hal to ask him because I was so upset about something that was on the op-ed page. He said, "Well, I don't have any control over these people."
Well, I mean, this isn't, this isn't Barnacle. I mean, this is the New York Times.
Well, be dissing my friend Barnacle.
I mean, I could proofread his column every day, but you only have a 4-hour show, so we couldn't get anything in.
Oh, you sound like the guy we want.
Yeah. Well, I'll do my best,
So hang on, Bernie's going to get your address.
Okay.
But these are, well, do these qualify?
Sure they do. There's a problem with the article about the Zen-Meister today, too.
What's the problem there?
They couldn't decide whether they wanted to use a or an, so they put them both in there.
Well, there is a rule there. I know that for sure.
I read it yesterday.
I read the rule yesterday. Yeah. Absolutely. Last night. No, I know that's a rule.
Broadcasting executive said today that they had established an investment fund. Well, which is it? Make up your mind.
Well, there's a rule.
And and that's Mr. Carberson. You can't mess up articles about him.
No, we can't have that.
That's right. Change the rule.
It is 5 minutes till the hour. Hang on. We're going to send you a copy of the book, and then you're on a payroll here. Well, you're not on a payroll, but
figures. Can you send me some of those sponges?
And anytime you find something, you got to call us.
I'm going to fax it in every day. I'll get a number from Bernie. I'll fax it in every morning.
Well, I love that. I like that better. That's better.
Terry.
Okay.
They put my webpage up for Terry Irving on the screen there. You see that?
Yeah, I did. Coming up on 4 till the hour now.
Driving that train, high cocaine. Imus in the morning.
How much better can a Toyota certify?
On Sunday morning, that may run at various times around the country, but that's when we see it. It's at 10:30. It is 25 minutes till the hour. Mr. Schieffer is also the chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, Bob Schieffer. It is, that is something that we need to investigate. If, in fact, Naomi Wolf is writing about her adroitness at providing her skill at providing oral sex
at 15.
The book was published in 1998 in August.
Oh, okay.
So, but this may have been some information that she had imparted to either Mr. Morse or the president.
Oh, sure.
Prior to publication in this book.
Of course.
By the way, when I was 15, I could administer a hell of a Hummer. You may want to tell Bill that. Oh, who knows? I mean, I don't know.
Very well could have been, man.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
Well,
she also believes in something she calls sexual gradualism for kids as they mature sexually and wants schools to teach teenagers how to masturbate as well as to encourage them to resort to oral sex in place of intercourse. Put that in your curriculum.
How would you conduct that class, the masturbation class, by the way?
Well, just kind of in an offhand manner.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna say my darling soul, no. Mama, you don't do right. Imus in the morning.
We have a new member with us today. Would you like to introduce yourself to the group?
My name is Lisa.
Birthday to my man, Delbert McClellan. Boy, that boy can sing the blues. Here's my favorite Delbert McClellan song.
Here comes the weekend, honey. What's going on? Do we put our feet up, honey, or party all night long? Oh, baby, whatever. I'm with you. Are we staying home? Are we going downtown? Are we dressing up, baby? I'm dressing down. Oh, whatever. Baby, I'm with you. You're my sunshine in the morning. You're my stars at night. You're all I ever dream about. Anything you want, well, baby, that's all right. Anything you don't, I can learn to live without as long as I'm with you. Till the sun stops burning, I'm with you. Till this world stops turning to the end of time. Oh, I'm with you. You're my sunshine in the morning, you're my stars at night. You're all I ever dream about. Anything you want, well, baby, that's all right. Anything you don't, I can learn to live without as long as I'm with you. Till the sun stops burning, I'm with you. Till the world stops turning to the end of time. Baby, I'm with you. Till the end of time. Oh, baby, I'm with you.
Got a little of that Bo Diddley thing going on there. The great Delbert McClellan's in Las Vegas this weekend for some baseball deal. Some Major League Baseball Players' Choice Award. Delbert and the band will be there playing for him. That's what I'm talking about.
Talking with Mike Wallace from CBS News.
What is this Mr. Wallace routine?
Well, because I have enormous respect for you.
Well, you may call me Mike.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Don. In any case. I cannot bring myself to say, I man. I mean,
Yeah,
it
no,
sounds so stupid.
It does sound stupid.
And it sounds really stupid when you say it.
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Once I just briefly a little politics of it.
Sure.
Well, yesterday we had.
How long am I on? About
As long as you want to be. So.
Until you fall asleep. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
All right, Warner Wolf is next. Let me talk to you now about the...
Hear this for the last time. I did not have sexual relations with that man, Warner Wolf.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning. Thank you, I-Man. The Imus in the Morning Sports Report is brought to you by Staples, the office superstore. Baseball, former Cleveland manager Mike Hargrove is the new manager of the Baltimore Orioles. Here's Hargrove.
I told Mr. Angelos when we talked, and I told him this, I said, it's a very refreshing feeling for me, is that I don't need this job.
Well, then get out.
Who needs you?
Well, that's it. You don't need it. What's he doing there?
Change the manager.
Come on, change. That's right. Change the manager. The future is now. Davey Lopes today will be named manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's one. NFL 49ers tight end Greg Clark says his collapsed lung was caused when the 49ers team doctor punctured it. while giving him a pain-killing injection. Huh? Niners coach Steve Mariucci says he has full confidence in the team's medical staff, and the doctor will stay. I can hear the players now.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the doctor with that hypo. Get out! Says Jerry Rice. No more coughing for this guy. Ravens coach Brian Billick could be in trouble. Billick, whose Ravens play the Browns in Cleveland Sunday, says there's no way we're going to get any calls by the refs in Cleveland. And the league would really like to see the Browns beat us. Maybe true, but don't say it. NBA, the I-Man Lakers made it 2 in a row, beating the Grizzlies in the Lakers' new home, 103-88. The Bulls, the only team to lose at home, lost to the Knicks, 84-74. How exciting.
They suck, don't they? The Bulls?
The Bulls? Horrible. Horrible. Suppose you had season tickets left over when Jordan was there. Man.
Serves him right.
That's it. You're a seller. You can't even give those tickets away. Right?
We shouldn't be allowed to play in Bulls uniforms, those people.
Change the uniform.
Different team.
Disgrace. Right. I remember this morning you asked me if Red Auerbach ever lit up a cigar and had to put it out when he is coach of the Celtics.
No.
Doesn't remember.
Come on.
No, I remember.
Come on, I-Man. You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, the answer is no. But one time, almost, April 1966, Lakers-Celtics 7th game, and you were there.
Auerbach smoking a cigar. 14 seconds left. Just suppose that the Lakers scored 6 points in 14 seconds. He'd have to put out that cigar pretty fast, wouldn't he? Hazard throws it in. To Ellis. To King. King dribbles in, lays it up, and scores. It's 95-91. 10 seconds left. The Celtics have the ball, and Sam Jones loses the ball. He loses the ball with 10 seconds left. Oh, my goodness gracious. Jerry West will throw it in. The Lakers will try and cut it to 2. To Ellis. Ellis for the 20-footer. It's good. It's good. 95-93. 5 seconds left. The Celtics trying to throw it in. Unbelievable. Fantastic. Casey Jones with the ball. The ball game's over.
That's the closest he came.
Pretty close,
You know, those days, we had no color men, no stat men, and you were also the electrician. That's right. It was a one-man job.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you're excited about that, I-Man.
I used to walk to school.
That's right. Well, finally.
I smell a campfire.
Finally, another black eye for sports.
Hurry up. We got about 5 seconds.
Iron-Man. Okay, Iron-Man, you're the guy. Now, Iron-Man.
Tonight on the WB.
You're a vital and vigorous man. You know, the Clapper.
Yep.
You know.
You got hips that are going to go for at least another couple of years.
The Clapper depends jokes are getting old.
That's it. That ends today.
Chuck continues. The wife of Mayor Giuliani, of course, the mayor, Mrs. Clinton's likely opponent in the New York Senate race. She was scheduled to attend a breast cancer benefit last night in Manhattan, but Donna Hanover...
It's a cigar now.
You're begging what? You're begging what?
I'm begging you to stop with this.
Why?
They ran roughshod over Vancouver.
The Lakers are my team. Why can't the Lakers be my team?
Because when they show up 500 in a couple of months, you're jumping off. I know.
No,
he said through thick and thin.
Through thick and thin, till June. I'm with the Lakers.
The Lakers and Bob Dole in 96.
Well, long as Phil can stay interested, I will. Shaq seems like he's got to work on his... Here's the thing. That's one thing I don't understand is why we have the foul shooting situation. If he simply would apply himself, he could get better.
Absolutely.
I think you're onto something. He doesn't care.
He's a fat, lazy jackass.
He is.
That's why they'll never win. Message: he does not care.
Shaq doesn't care.
No.
Not hungry.
No.
So why does he show up and play then?
Could have Phil Jesus Christ there. They're not going to win.
Benjamins.
The Benjamins.
I guess he's got to show up. He signed a contract.
That's it.
What else is he going to do during the day?
Well,
or at night?
I hate to think, but
hang out at Mickey D's.
I mean, the rap thing is... He wouldn't be doing the rap thing if it were not for this. So.
No, I don't think he would. You're right.
So. Because I've seen Shaq rap, and it's even worse than Puffy.
Yeah. He'd be a bodyguard for Puffy.
Yeah, he would. That's what he'd be doing. Be Puff's bodyguard. And Puffy's awful.
Oh.
Ugh, God. some people who are good, but he's not one of them.
He's not among them.
No. The white guys are better than he is. Eminem knows people.
That's terrible.
In fact, much better. 25 after the hour. Well, poor Brokaw guy just goes to the next game. I mean, we do have a concern that he's sitting down there in the courtside Puff Daddy seats where he shouldn't be there. But
no.
Which used to outrage the I-Man, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, where's he supposed to sit?
Stay at home and watch it on TV. Be a Net fan.
Right. What do you want, Breen?
What are you listening to Bernard for?
What do you mean?
The only reason you're doing this is he eggs you on and ask him where he sits when he goes to the garden.
Where do you sit when you go, Bernie?
I have accepted nice seats to root against the Knicks. No,
Puff Daddy seats he's accepted.
I have accepted
What have you ever sat on the floor at the garden? In those seats?
I have sat next to Spike Lee. Yes,
you are fired.
Wait a second.
You can't. Are you kidding me?
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
Why are you sitting down there on those courtside?
I was sitting in a friend's seats last night. My seats are 6 rows back in Section D.
Well, I'm trying to defend you here.
I know, and I think you're doing a pretty inadequate job.
Financial strength in a financial services organization is extreme.
Welcome, Warner. Nice to see you. Good to have you. Very kind of you to stop by. A pleasure.
Yes.
Thanks again. Thanks for coming by.
That'll be fine, David. Good morning, Warner.
Good morning. Thank you, I-Man. The Cleveland Indians have just been sold. That's right. The Cleveland Indians baseball team has just been sold.
To who?
To Cleveland attorney Larry Dolan, the brother of Cablevision head Charles Dolan. Richard Jacobs, who bought the club in 1986 for $73 million, sold the club today for $320 million, a $247 million profit. Not bad.
They still call it Jacobs Field, or now it's a Dolan Field?
That's a good question. In fact, maybe they'll sell it to a corporate sponsor for a couple million.
Couple $100 million.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. That's right. Speaking of Cleveland, former Indian manager Mike Hargrove is the new manager of the Baltimore Orioles.
You're kidding.
Here's Hargrove commenting on his deal with Oriole owner Peter Angelos.
They gave me a deal that was for more than 1 year, so I would assume, I'm assuming that his commitment is there. He said it was. He looked me in the eyes when he said it.
Forget about it, Mike. Angelos has had 5 managers in 7 years.
No.
That's no deal.
I'd hire Hargrove.
Oh, yeah.
I'd hire him in a heartbeat. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No.
In a Hargrove heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The guy took him playoffs 5 years in a row, 2 World Series. Come on.
You got it. That's it.
Let's go on. Let's get it on, baby. Let's play well.
That's it. Do the same job.
How my Lakers doing?
The Lakers won last night.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Stop that.
Embarrassing.
Jeez.
The Lakers.
Like a fool.
They're clean team.
Fly to Egypt.
I-Man's team. Won their home opener at the new Staples Center, beating the Grizzlies 103-88. Shaq had 28, 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
A great night at the foul line, 2 for 6. But apparently, Laker coach Phil Jackson is not a fan of the Lakers' new home.
A very difficult place to play. As you saw, that the energy was really weird in the first half. It's going to be a strange place to play for a while. We knew that.
Take some drugs.
There's still a certain feel about that building that's a little bit different, yes.
Shut up. Get a book and take some drugs and shut up about it.
The hippie stuff. The vibes went right.
Lose that. The vibe jive.
Yeah.
Come on,
Jordan
Phil.
wasn't there.
I love you, Phil, but
Right.
please, come on.
Don't embarrass the I-Man.
No Michael.
If you listen to me on KRLA in L.A., Michael Jackson's coming up. I love this guy. You know, I was on his show once. Did I tell you that?
No, you didn't.
No. You know who he is?
He's from South Africa.
Man, he's great.
Yeah. He's been on for years. He's got to be 35 years.
Yeah, but guy's great, though. I mean, he's still got it. He's not peeing in his pants yet. Or,
not at all.
I don't think he is. He's not dribbling on his chin.
At least you can't see it.
He's great. One of the great voices in radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michael Jackson. I love this guy.
Yeah. He sings, too.
Start crying.
Any second.
I really
F
like
you little bastard.
I think he's fantastic.
What's wrong with you two, you know?
You're turning into an old bag right in front of our eyes. Terrible.
I like Michael Jackson. What's the matter with that?
Oh, plenty.
Cut out old.
Oh, yeah, he's an old fool and a communist, probably. Liberal bastard.
Snaggletooth Englishman.
Yeah, exactly. Spotted owl, tree-sucking, snake-wiggling, snake-hugging, liberal wussy. All right, what else?
Come on, Warner.
The Knicks were the only road team to win last night, beating the Bulls 84-74. Tony Kukoc was 1 for 14 from the field.
Hey, Phil Jackson, by the way, you're right. He's got to stop talking about the energy in the room.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Get that moron center of yours to shoot foul shots.
and get them to play for 40 minutes. I mean, come on, 48 minutes, whatever.
Forget
it
the
is.
mood rings,
However long-
coach. However long a game
lose
lasts.
the mood ring, Phil.
And the incense.
God, come on here. Really. But they're 2-0. So
2-0, right.
But, you know, I watched a little bit of the not the Laker game. It's on too late. The
Knicks Bulls?
Yeah, the Knicks Bulls. And it's weird. I'm not really a basketball fan, other than, of course, the Knicks. I mean, the Lakers. But, I mean, there's no way I can't. My wife is right, by the way. The shoes squeaking on the floor makes me nervous. So you can't watch it with the sound up. You don't need that. I mean, it's annoying. But to see the Bulls play in those uniforms and on that court in the United Center, they shouldn't allow. I mean, until the team gets better, they should make them play somewhere else and in different uniforms.
Yeah, right. Play somewhere else and wear something else.
Dresses.
Man, that is really weird to watch. You know that because you.
It's great to watch.
Sure. Imposters.
Yeah, they're just, you know. And the Knicks, they're just, what a bunch of thugs. God almighty, they just, don't they?
$1 million dirtbags. There you go.
Unbelievable. And by the way, we're not accepting Brokaw's explanation yesterday.
That was so
that really was weak.
My seats are six rows back. What's that?
Sit in them.
Yeah.
Mumbles.
Yeah.
Right.
Move them back farther. Sell them.
Yeah. These are their Ed Bradley seats.
And another thing, too, we were talking about Mike Wallace last hour, but the 60 Minutes guy, but he was one of the great journalists in the history of this country. And he's sitting home now, popping Xanax, or what the hell he's taking.
Yeah, wringing his hands.
Whining and whimpering about this stupid movie that's coming out that nobody cares about. I mean, I'm telling you, nobody cares.
Zero
interest.
Oh,
and if Mike Wallace thinks that this is going to have some impact on his career, he's nuts. Jesus, I mean, I don't get that. Do you?
No, I don't. No, he's a legend, an icon.
He's worrying about how he's portrayed
in some stupid movie that they're already concerned about how the facts are represented anyway.
I mean, for example, I had 2 biographies written about me this past year.
Yeah.
I never even read.
Nah.
I mean, you can't even concern. I mean, I don't even. I have a copy of one of them.
They're too
who
long.
cares?
Nobody. They're way too long.
That's one. I mean, nobody. That's not going to have any impact on your.
Relax, Mr. Wallace.
What's going to have an impact on your career is something you do, not something somebody else does about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you expect that. You expect some Hollywood baby to take a cheap shot at Mike Wallace. Well, of course they're going to do that. What do you care? You're Mike Wallace.
Above that.
I mean, stop whining.
Really? And gnats snapping at your heels. Come on.
You know, curled up there in your Richard Janoff Primal Scream fetal position, whining. Pop a couple more of those, whatever the hell you're taking, and move on.
Shut up.
Shut up and be a man about it. Call Naomi Wolf, get that alpha thing going for you, baby. I mean, really, honest to God, it's embarrassing. I'm annoyed.
You're Mike Wallace. Good Lord.
Jesus, God almighty. I mean, I've been reading about this the past...
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to him the other day. He was all exercised about it. And, you know, he's not going to listen to me, obviously, but... He's making a huge mistake if he thinks... I mean, who's going to go see this movie?
Nobody. Unless he continues to call attention to it.
More people that go see the Omega Code than will see this thing.
Come on.
I'm sorry, Warner, go ahead.
You don't think this is a plan, do you? Like maybe he has a little interest in the movie, drumming up publicity? Think that's possible?
No, I really
Clandestine?
Actually, I don't.
No?
No, he's not that.
On the side?
The problem is he's not interested in money.
He's really sweating it.
That's always been his problem. No, he's really sweating it.
Yeah.
Well, Barbara Walters had a deal, right? A play, right?
Don't say anything bad about Barbara Walters now.
No, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just giving those are the facts.
Well, that's all right. Well, something I wouldn't do. Except I tell everybody about it. I don't try to hide anything.
That's right.
Yeah, as long as you tell people, they don't care.
Be
Kind
up
of
front.
slimeball you are.
No, just be up front.
Just got to be up front about it. I have an interest in it, just like Rob's play, which we never got much of a chance to promote because it closed in 4 seconds. But
that'll be like this movie coming out.
Yeah, this movie will be in Blockbuster by Friday.
There you go.
It opens Friday.
Really?
It'll open in Blockbuster.
And by the way, they won't guarantee that it'll be there. You know what I'm saying?
in the morning.
All right, let me talk to you about
These 2 fine-looking gentlemen and picks me up. Then the sting has been put in effect, and we're going to ambush Muhammad or Habib and perpetrate a beating on the taxi driver.
No. But I don't want to beat up taxi drivers. When are you going to do this now?
We're going to go get set up right now, I-Man. Yeah. And by the way, I just want to say, hey, Bernard, it's good to see the road game is kicking in.
All right, Bernard McGurk, Monterey Ivey, and Stefan Dweck. They're on 3rd Avenue around 88th Street, and this is just going to turn into a hideous disaster. It is 22 minutes till the hour here on the Imus Morning Program. Here's Craig from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Craig. On line 2, Lou.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? I can't clear my throat for some reason.
Well, try some chicken soup.
What's up?
Well, I was reading William Sapphire's essay from November 4th.
Yeah.
And the first paragraph has pretty much of a glaring, grammatical mistake.
Oh, okay. And it is?
And it is that he didn't set off with commas a parenthetical phrase in the first paragraph. Would you like me to read it, or?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. He says, in Oslo the other day, the XK...
2020 Sports. Here's a soundbite for you, Larry. If you were looking for a world-class sportscaster, you lost. Here's Warner Wolf.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning. Thank you, I-Man. I-Man's Lakers. Even though the Lakers are 2-0, the joke around Los Angeles is that the Lakers are having so much trouble executing that triangle offense that they're calling it the Bermuda Triangle. Even Phil Jackson was quoted as saying the Lakers have a limitation of their attention span.
Well,
says it's probably due to too much rap music going into their ears. And they need to get a focal point that lasts longer than 15 seconds.
Yeah. See you in June, right?
And there's a big
Your Lakers.
I-Man's Lakers.
My side.
That's my team. I'm sticking with them.
That's it. Win or tie, he's sticking with them.
Sure.
Good luck.
Loyalty.
There's a big contest going on in the NBA. Which will come first? 82 games or 82 foul shots made by the Shaq?
Got it.
6 of the 7 home teams won in the NBA last night, only Milwaukee winning on the road. And how did those new rules do to help more scoring? Only 4 of the 14 teams scored over 100. Toronto, Charlotte, the Jazz, Seattle, and the Spurs and Suns all win at home. Phoenix beating Philadelphia 84-80. Allen Iverson, only 4 out of 20 from the field.
Come on, Allen.
No good. In Toronto, the Raptors beat the Heat 97-86, but before the game, the Heat players, while they were going through the customs at the Toronto airport, Miami rookie Rodney Buford was caught with marijuana in his bag.
Oh, man, come on.
Yeah. The drugs were confiscated by Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and Buford was sent home to Florida, where he can get more drugs. This is the first season in which the NBA players are being treated for marijuana. And if you had the Warriors in 22 points, you lost. The Spurs 104, Golden State 81. Davey Lopes, who's been a coach with the Padres, became the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday. Lopes is in a good position. He can't do much worse. The Brewers have had 8 straight losing seasons. Here's Lopes.
We will play to win. We will not play to lose.
That may be key.
It's a shock.
And they hired this guy right over Willie Randolph. Unbelievable. Jesus God.
He's on top of things.
Sure.
And here's a surprise. Another black eye for boxing.
What happened now?
If that's possible.
Yeah.
IBF President Robert Lee Sr. and 3 IBF officials, including his son, have been indicted for taking bribes, money laundering, and conspiracy involving managers and promoters to help manipulate fight rankings. See, the bribes, which total $338,000, determine which fighter, whom would fight where, and who would fight each guy, right? Each
Marathon Sunday, Warner.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if we have any favorites in that or not, but the wheelchair people were whining about...
What? We're whining?
Well, because the New York Roadrunners Club, you know what they did last year? I think it was last year, which seems outrageous to me, is either the police or the New York Roadrunners Club stopped the wheelchair athletes for a half hour at the Queensboro Bridge, 59th Street Bridge, so they could let the elite runners run by.
Not good.
No. Well, that's awful.
No, not good.
You can't do that.
No, that's stupid.
I mean, that's just
inhumane.
Yeah, but because the wheelchair athletes trained as hard as anybody else.
Absolutely.
Perhaps more so.
Sure.
And, you know, a good wheelchair, they can roll the marathon in about, a little under 2 hours, like an hour 40 minutes, hour 45, something like that.
Unbelievable.
But you can't stop them for a half an hour to let
the elite runner.
Toulouse-Lautrec or whoever run by, or some of these other people. I mean, that's disgraceful.
Yeah, that is.
They shouldn't do that.
No, that's outrageous.
Anyway, so there was a big article in the New York Times about that. Anyway, it's 10 minutes till the hour here at the Imus Morning Program. Here's Maggie from New York City on line 3. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning, Imus.
What's the matter?
What's the matter?
Well, people only call me to bitch about stuff. So I guarantee that's why you're calling.
I came to offer my services with the New York Times.
You what?
I came to offer my services with the New York Times. I'd like to be part of the team.
Well, we have.
Men.
No. We have a class in Syracuse that I would venture is probably comprised half of women. 30 people, half of them got to be women, wouldn't you suspect? I would.
Well, you see, I'm getting ready for work, ironing my clothes. I missed him saying it was the whole class.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a nurse.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
You have access to prescription pads?
Yes, I do.
No, I'm just checking, you know.
Well, welcome to the team.
Yeah, well, welcome aboard here.
You wouldn't be the first to have asked.
Here on line 1 is J.C. from Maplewood, New Jersey. Good morning, J.C.
Good morning, Mr. Imus.
How are you?
On behalf of the Hispanic listening community, I am outraged and incredulous that you're having Al Gore on next week.
Well,
incredulous. Unbelievable. Forget change the rules. Change the DJ.
Here's some Ed from Rhode Island on line 2. Good morning, Ed.
Morning, man.
How are you?
Good, sir. Is Charles there?
Yeah.
Hey, Charles.
Good morning.
If you can hear me, I think we got a problem going here. I foresee another Whitaker Chambers coming here. We're going to be changing the name of this show to Grammar in the Morning. Man, you got to stop. You got to stop.
This is good. This is fun. We're not going to devote the entire program to it, or even a substantial portion of it. But as long as the New York Times wants to publish a book, wants to write a book on a manual of style and usage, and we want to make sure that they abide by it.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I can foresee Lupica and Bo in on this next.
In fact, we found the failure of William Safire in a column of his to set off a parenthetical phrase with commas, but it's questionable, isn't it, Charles?
Well, it's a little questionable, man. Although, I guess, technically, the caller was correct.
Well, all right, what's the deal here?
Well, go ahead.
You be quiet. Just listen here.
In the style and usage book, parenthetical attribution. When attribution is inserted in mid-sentence, it must be truly parenthetical. That is, set off by commas at both ends.
Yeah.
And
what does Safire do?
Mr. Safire has not done that in this particular case, but
he could easily make a case for not doing so.
Absolutely.
So we need errors of more glaring errors than that.
Right.
We need misuse of words, misspellings,
things that cannot be subject to interpretation.
Exactly. We need glaring errors.
Yeah.
And there's got to be, but these questions of punctuation are always going to be subjective, and we're in 90% of the cases.
Probably.
So.
What happened to boners and breasts?
Are you using that parenthetically, or are you using
Well, I've got a big old boner. Do you have breasts? That's 7 minutes till the hour. So what's your take on all this, Fred?
Well, Hillary's right. There is a conspiracy. Anybody that doubts that has got their head in the sand.
So what you're saying is that the president did not have any kind of sex with this woman?
Well, I don't think so, and he may have had a relationship.
You are the biggest disgrace, not only on Santa Fe, New Mexico, but on the face of this earth, and certainly, and I'm happy to tell you now, and my mom and dad told me never to tell you this while they were alive, and I'm happy to tell you now, you were adopted.
Absolutely.
You're not an Imus. That's why you don't have any hair and I do.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Why don't you put on one of your little female Auto Body Express outfits and go down to Washington and you go down on the president, because you've done that here on this program.
I'll tell you one thing. The guy that ought to be in jail is Kenneth Starr.
Marty, you're an outrageous idiot.
This guy is way our money. Hello?
No, we're still here.
Unfortunately, you're still here.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're still here, but you're gone now.
All right. In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
On the next Martin Short Show.
What can I say? She's just incredibly funny for a girl.
Make way for the one and only. Right in the 3rd Avenue, 88th Street, with Stefan Dweck and Monterey Ivey, the guys who wrote the book Snaps. They've been on the program a number of times. Got a new movie coming out. Essentially to see if a black man can hail a cab. The movie starred
actor, star, Danny Glover, was whining in the newspaper, appropriately so, by the way, that he couldn't get a cab. David Dinkins, former mayor of New York City, said he's been unable to get a cab on a number of occasions. And, of course, our question is, and Reverend Al Sharpton will be on later this morning, is what is Danny Glover doing taking a cab anyway? The guy's a movie star. He's a limo. Jesus. But my man Kwesi Mfume of the NAACP is also, torqued off about it. So we'll go to Bernard and Stefan and Monterey after the top of the next hour. Here's Mike from Reading, Pennsylvania on line 2. Good morning, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Imus. Listen, there is no question whatsoever that is an absolute grammatical error made by that Jewish fellow that writes for the Times. And what's worse, it's a run-on sentence. That's much more criticizable.
What does the Jewish part got to do with it?
Well, it's, they hire that way.
You're not one of these Pat Buchanan Nazis, are you?
Well, in a way, but they hire. I used to be, but
the last one.
There you go. Exclamation point.
Yeah, now you're off the program. This is WFAN in New York, an Infinity broadcasting station. I am Imus in the morning. I was talking to my veterinarian yesterday, Dr. John. Please welcome to the Imus in the morning program, Steak Shapiro, who... Okay, get the wig on. He's got the wig on. Here we go.
Man. Okay, where's the snout?
Where's he? Get the snout. Get the big snout.
It looks good.
You agreed to wear the snout.
Steak, you look good.
Hold the snout on your nose.
God,
just
be
under
with.
All right.
Now, oink.
Let's hear you. Oink.
Oh, man,
louder.
that's the worst.
Oh, you got louder. We couldn't even hear you.
That's a squeal. Oink,
we couldn't even hear you.
It's a sustained squeal.
Go oink, oink, and you're done.
That's all you got to do.
Oink. Oink.
Oh, well,
I can't believe
I do that.
Throw him out.
You want a horse whip. You loser.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
AM and a PM with Bo Bach, Mike Bell, and Steak over at Mickey Mantle's on Central Park South. And
what are the odds on this?
No, I'll be happy to come over, but I mean, I have my obligations to my wife and son.
50% chance that she's
You'll
back.
see Mickey Mantle before you see the I-Man. That's the chance you stand of seeing him.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
This is what it's like. Bone Collector's a little better.
Oh,
the Bone Collector.
The Bone Collector's something you have an
with
interest
Denzel
in.
Washington.
We have to go.
If you got to see one movie, see Bone Collector. And then see
Collect
the
my
inside
bone.
after. Yeah, I got your
4
little
minutes
bone.
till the
Little
hour.
bone.
I'm sitting on Bo Deal goes to the movies.
Imus in the morning.
All right, let me talk to you about NASDAQ now. They are part of our economic future, bold, bright. Innovative companies taking a big step, bringing their vision and ingenuity into the mainstream, becoming a vital element in our continuing economic growth. In the first 9 months of the year, 330 companies have gone public on NASDAQ, raising $27 billion in new capital. NASDAQ over 3,000, which is enormously significant for them, Chuck. So, they got some pretty big companies here. Microsoft, Intel, they're getting it done.
Some of the biggest.
Yeah. NASDAQ provides companies $71 billion in new capital, $71 billion, making R&D possible on a meaningful scale, resulting in new kinds of products, new services, even new technologies, all fueling corporate growth while stimulating world economies. NASDAQ, check them out. On the... NASDAQ, check them out. Today's hottest IPO, Intertrust Technologies Corporation. Symbol ITRU, check that out. Well, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is the ultimate 4x4 for exploring nature, and it has the awards to prove it. In fact, no other vehicle has won more Vehicle of the Year awards since its introduction than Grand Cherokee. And with its unique blend of ruggedness and refinement, it's obvious why experts are so enthusiastic about Grand Cherokee. And right now, you can lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo for only $379 a month. For 36 months with no money down and only $874 due a signing. With more power, luxury, and safety, it's Jeep's best Grand Cherokee ever. So you see your Tri-State Jeep dealer and award yourself with a new Jeep Grand Cherokee. For more lease information about this zero down $379 a month Laredo lease, call them at 1-800-768-JEEP. Title, taxes, and license extra. Jeep is only one that's a registered trademark of Daimler Chrysler. If you want to capture every day in brilliant color, make sure you're using Fuji color film.
Fujifilm has the perfect film for virtually any picture-taking situation, whether it's indoor, outdoor, snapshot, action, changing lighting conditions. You know, if you've been out taking shots of the leaves and you're not happy, you say, well, it looked a lot brighter than that when well, you weren't using Fujifilm, that's the problem. So you need to stick a roll of that in your, you know what I'm saying? In your camera. Fujifilm, the official film of the Imus in the Morning program. All right, now let me talk to you about cross pins. If you're in charge of the gifts for your company, you know what a tricky proposition that can be. You have to balance personal sentiment with professional decorum to send just the right message in just the right way. The people at Cross Pins can give you a hand. They've been helping people with corporate gifts for more than a century. Cross has an extensive assortment of pins to choose from, including many new styles and finishes. So whether you need 6 gifts or 6,000, you're certain to find pins that are perfect for your recipient's deal. Well, you know, I've got a cross pin here in my hand. It's gold, kind of a glow. Yeah. Kind of a herringbone. Yeah, herringbone, brushed gold finish. Brushed herringbone. Not a gorgeous pen. And you remember, Cross used to make those little skinny ones. Now they make, you know, regular-sized fat ones that fit in your grubby little hand there. You can see a Cross pen at fine pen stores. You can call them at 1-800-241-8269. Cross, the official pen of the Imus Morning program. This is WFAN in New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. The news is sponsored by Cooper Tire. See Jay or Mike Hansel out at Hansel Tire, 1732 Webster Avenue, Cross Bronx Expressway in the Bronx. God, tired of reading these things.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's just one... It's your job. I understand that, but I mean, I'm tired of reading them. So, no, I want to talk to a Bood. Work him over.
Yeah.
Bo's still here.
Yeah.
Les, we established this morning that is the case, that a cab would not pick up either Stefan or Monterey. Of course, neither would I, but, I mean, because they do look like a couple of thugs, even though they're authors and one of them's a lawyer. Right?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know when these cabs stop, Tom. They have to take you. They can't refuse you. A lot of times, I would pull one over, and the guy doesn't want to go to a certain place. He goes, I know go there. They should suspend the friggin' licenses of these towelettes.
I understand that.
That's what they should do.
Anyway, here's Bernard back on 3rd Avenue. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Imus.
No, you go ahead.
It happened once again. Stefan and Monteria, we tried to flag down. They tried to flag down a taxi. The taxi passed them by and came up and tried to pick me up. And these two gentlemen ran up quickly and almost murdered poor Muhammad there in his taxi. And in a related development, Stefan and Monteria, they tried to get on a bus with a token, and the guy slammed the door in their face, and he took off. What's up with that?
Couldn't get on a bus.
But your mother was driving the bus, Bernard. So
we're being nothing but abuse from Bernard this morning. It's because of white people like you that we can't catch cabs in New York City. I don't know why they want to stop for a guy who looks like he's on medication instead of 2 educated black men.
Bernard is so cheap, he doesn't make deposits in the sperm bank. He keeps it in his mattress.
what time do you have to see your parole officer, by the way?
Oh, you're trying to stop, huh?
And by the way, Bernard, I don't know who told you that corduroys are still in style, but corduroy pants are out. So join the 90s.
He bathes with tartar control soap. You know what I'm saying?
What happened with the last cab incident, Bernie?
He actually pulled up. He contemplated picking up these 2 tokes, and then he left them hanging. Their hand was on the handle of the door, and he drove up when he saw my pretty face, and he tried to pick me up. And I kept the door open while Stefan over here went over on the driver's side and started choking.
Shut it down, Habib. Shut it down.
But apparently the cab driver and Bernard have some type of relationship going on now. He said he's going to meet him later for a drink.
You better brush with Preparation H.
we did kidnap the taxi driver's goat, so at least there was some sort of...
we got something out of it.
So did it degenerate into an altercation or not? Just screaming at each other?
It got a little ugly. Stefan here called him a bum and a rat and all this.
And a piece of afterbirth.
And it's on, we do have it on tape, so we have it for posterity's sake, and perhaps we can get poor Habib deported or something. I don't know.
And hey, I-Man, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I understand you're going up to our alma mater soon, up to Dartmouth College.
The Big Green.
We want to be up there when you show up, because we want to show them how well we made out.
All right, you guys were great. Well, you were adequate.
Yeah.
Bernard McGurk, Stefan Dweck and Monterey Ivey. By the way, Stefan and Monterey have yet another book coming out. And they're doing a movie. What's the movie called, you guys?
The Field Guide to White People.
The Field Guide to White People. So check it out. All right, thanks, you guys.
By the same title. Thanks a lot, I-Man. Peace.
You're welcome. 10 minutes after the hour here in the Imus Morning Program. Well, if you're black, you can't get a cab. In a lot of cases. We already knew what the answer to that was.
Yeah. Or you're going to have difficulty, at least,
All right, here's Chuck with the news. We'll get back to a Bood and Bo in a minute. Good morning, Charles.
Stuff quickly, I-Man. The search commander in the end of the flight.
12 minutes after the hour here on the Imus Morning Program. Bo Dietl and Joe Bood coming up. All right, here now, Imus Washington Senior Military Affairs Advisor, the late General George S. Patton, Jr.
At ease, as you were. Men, we face a particularly troubling dilemma today. There is a weak link in our chain of command. Strike that. There is a pusillanimous link in our chain of command. One that threatens not only our glorious military-industrial complex, but potentially the future well-being of our fair land itself. Now then, why did you people join my beautiful army in the first place? Yes, Private?
Sir, we joined the General's beautiful army because we're alpha males, sir.
Define that for me, Private.
Sir, being alpha males means we're aggressors, trained killers, dominators of women, and generally predacious creatures, sir.
Then growl for me, Private. I said growl, damn it. What are you, an alpha male or some kind of Tennessee damn sissified pussy-wussy cat? Sound off like a banshee, you bastard. There you go. Stated like a true alpha male. Which brings me to our dilemma. Albert Gore, Vice President. A man who would be president. And a National Institutes of Health certified wimp. Carried a fountain pen and a Big Chief notebook in Vietnam. A journalist, for God's sake. And now, we've got to worry about how to give him some kind of machismo transplant to get the sorry bastard to act halfway like he had a pair. Well, boys, hiring the masturbation-obsessed, penis-envying, sex-seized feminist Naomi Wolf to put earth-tone suits on the sap just may be the answer. From her writings, it appears that one of Ms. Wolf's principal claims to fame is that before she was old enough to drive, she was already an accomplished job artist. I say, congratulations. Excellent. A girl who was a real self-starter. Now then, while some might criticize adding to our staff a woman of such history, and while some may wonder at this administration's fixation on running its pink weasel through the tongue suds all the time, it has worked so far. Correct, Private?
Well, sir, as a Clinton-Gore campaign stratagem, it does seem beyond argument that getting your weasel
Private,
wallered by
at ease. A rhetorical question. Point is that turning Al Gore into Alpha Gore will take more than a simple wardrobe change. So, Mr. Gore, next time you're in a debate and Naomi says, wear tan, strap a Rambo knife to your leg, wrap a bandana around that feeble follicle head of yours, and put on some Desert Storm combat fatigues. You want to be more assertive? Kick Bill Bradley's stool out from under him and reach over and snap Judy Woodruff's bra. Shove a kielbasa in your pants. Grab a co-ed out of the audience and stick your tongue down her throat. If you're going to continue the legacy of history's greatest president, then by God, continue it. Destiny, your testosterone, and Naomi Wolf demand it. Stop hugging trees and get some chick on her knees. Thank you for your attention, people. That is all.
Hello?
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, I'm still delivered. I'm yours. Imus in the morning.
All right, let's say you're a freelancer trying to line up your next gig. Say you're a manager needs to hire freelance talent. Where do you go to find each other? Well, the Monster Talent Market at monster.com. It's the only website that brings together independent professionals and employers in real-time auction-style marketplace situation. The Monster Talent Market at monster.com. For the finest in home entertainment in the morning.
Accident blocking off 2 lanes.
And Laura's still reading.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Laura. Go right ahead.
Okay, Well, the weather, mix of sun and clouds today with the high around 65.
Obviously, I wasn't paying attention, was I?
Right now, it's a sunny 48 degrees. This weekend, buy a copy of Big Daddy, starring Adam Sandler as the
Please.
funniest fantasy dad.
Hold the gun on me. Make me see that.
It's from Columbia TriStar Home Video.
God almighty. I'd bungee jump without a bungee before I'd see that thing.
My sides.
God almighty. Adam Sandler. God, does anybody suck more than this guy?
No.
Please don't. Even if they advertise, please don't mention him again, okay, Lori?
Okay.
20 minutes after the hour here on the Imus Morning Program. Well, here's what we proved this morning on the Imus Morning Program and on MSNBC. Is a black man can't get a cab in Manhattan. Of course, I live in Manhattan. I've seen that happen for 25 years, but Bernard was over there this morning, and Stefan Dweck and Monterey Ivey, they've been on the program too many times, by the way. Right. They're the authors of the book Snaps. Been 2 or 3 editions of those.
Yep.
And their new movie's called A Field Guide for White People. That'll be out soon.
Field Guide to White People.
Field Guide to White People, yeah. So Monterey and Stefan were on 3rd Avenue and 88th, and they were standing in the middle of the block, and up about 100 yards was Bernard, who's white, and they drove right by him, right by Stefan, and to pick. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, to get to Bernie.
And these guys don't look like
well,
they're not menacing figures.
Waiting for cabs, not stopping for black people. To me, it happens to me all the time when I'm with Terry Bradshaw. Now, that's a disgrace. An absolute disgrace when a hick from Louisiana gets picked up before me. Good morning, Charles. How are you?
Good morning, JB.
Good.
How are you, JB?
I'm doing wonderfully. A little tired right now. I had to actually present the lovable redneck at a dinner last.
The Rams and the Detroit Lions. It's 30 minutes after the hour.
Oh, it's crying time again. You're gonna leave me. I can see that faraway look in your eyes. I can tell by the way you hold me, darling, that it won't be long before it's crying time. Imus in the morning.
Should be okay, right?
Yep.
We got plenty of time.
Well, Cherno's not here, so it's fine.
Okay, 17 till the hour.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports. So many jocks, so little time. Here's Warner Wolf. Easy, big fella. Keep him in your mouth.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning. Thank you, I-Man. Here's a surprise. Another black eye for boxing.
What?
IBF President Robert Lee Sr. and 3 IBF officials, including his son, have been indicted for taking bribes from managers and promoters to manipulate fighters' rankings.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Said a surprise Don King, only in America. The new manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, former longtime Dodgers second baseman Davey Lopes.
My job, along with my coaches and my upper management, is to bring a winning attitude and a winning team back to Milwaukee. How long it will take, I don't know.
You don't know? A 30-year plan.
How long is your deal for?
That's right.
Another one of these deals where the guys sign a 5-year deal and they have a 6-year plan. They sign a 3-year deal, they have a 4-year plan. I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's the way to do it. Move over football and boxing.
You know who I like? I read an article in the Washington Post sports section yesterday, which is a pretty good sports section, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Michael Wilbon, what's his name?
Yeah, Michael Wilbon.
Good, great writer.
Excellent.
I like Mike Hargrove. Seems like a nice guy, doesn't he?
He is a nice guy.
Did you read any of these articles? I mean,
that one I didn't read.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, it seemed like a nice guy. He's a new manager of the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
And, you get a sense of...
This is a decent sort.
Yeah, fine. He's fat.
Yeah.
Go on. Okay.
But you're right. Depends what city you're working in.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody else, you win 5 straight division titles and go to 2 World Series, you're there for life.
Yeah.
But in Cleveland Indians, maybe an impatient owner, maybe it was the new guy who was going to buy the team, said, get out.
And they sold the team to some mob guy, right?
Mob guy?
Dolan's,
Larry Dolan.
Larry Dolan, Chuck Dolan's brother. Well, Chuck Dolan a mob guy?
No.
Cable guy.
No.
Cable guy. That's right.
Yeah,
not
mob guy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mob, cable.
Whatever.
Idiot. Move over football and boxing. Apparently, soccer headers cause big-time head injuries.
You're kidding.
That's right. A study taken by the Institute of Preventative Sports Medicine, 57 players from ages 11 to 14, half of the players had symptoms of concussions, blurred vision, headaches, nausea, because of the headers.
Really?
Well, think about it.
Well, that's
right. 14-ounce ball. Yeah. Then in the big time, that thing's going 50 to 80 miles an hour. That's a new one.
Depends on which head you get hit.
Shut up.
You hear about 22-year-old, about 22-year-old Arizona State running back, J.R. Redmond. He's the guy that
What happened there?
Well, he married the 31-year-old Arizona State student who worked in the athletic department so he could protect his athletic eligibility.
Right. Well, that's
right. Okay. Well, he sat out last week, but he's going to play tomorrow against Southern Cal.
Oh, okay.
Redmond said he married the woman, but he would file for an annulment after the football season.
Sure.
Well, a woman, no dummy, has asked for half the earnings Redmond is expected to receive when he's drafted by the NFL.
Not good, huh?
Pretty good plan, right?
Well,
How's that new triangle offense doing with the Lakers?
Well, we're 2-0.
2-0. But even Phil Jackson says the Lakers have limitations in their attention span.
What?
Probably due to too much rap music going on in their ears.
Did he say that?
He said it's a quote in the sporting news.
That's racist.
And it said they need to get focal points that last more than 15 seconds. Man, that's going to go over big. Huh? 2-0. He may be 2-10 pretty soon.
He might be the victim of a drive-by.
Sure, they got a lot. Victim of a what?
Of a drive-by. Keep that up. It's in L.A., yo.
That's in Toronto. They beat the Heat last night. Before the game, the Heat players were going through customs at the Toronto airport. Miami rookie Rodney Buford was caught with marijuana in his bag by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Kidding.
Buford, before being sent home, said Pat Riley gave it to me.
What happened? Just about out of time.
Out of time? Well, all right. Finally, here it is.
All right.
If you had the I-Man's close and personal friend, Vice President Al Gore, and thought he would never appear on the I-Man show, you lost! Imus of the Morning Sports. This is Warner Wolf.
Al Gore coming up Tuesday morning here.
The police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. And not the other color, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority. That cause I ain't the one for a punk motherfucker with a badge and a gun to be beaten on. And thrown in jail, we can go toe to toe in the middle of a sale. With me cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold and a pager. Searching my car, looking for the product. Thinking every nigga is selling narcotics. Imus in the morning.
They are the lifeblood of our economic future. Bold, bright, innovative companies taking a big step, going public, taking their vision and ingenuity into the mainstream, becoming a vital element in our continuing economic growth.
Patrol.
So Bernard McGurk and Monterey Ivey and Stefan Dweck were over at 3rd Avenue, 88th in Manhattan trying to get a cab. Stefan and Monterey are black. Bernard, of course, au fait. How did that really go, Bernard?
Whiter than Kate Winslet's dresses.
Yeah.
It went according to plan. They totally got dissed. My brothers did. We strategically placed ourselves on northbound on 3rd Avenue, facing, up towards Harlem.
Sure.
So they thought that they would be going to the Bronx or Harlem. And my man Habib and Muhammad and all those guys passed them right by. They practically had their hands on the handle of the taxi door.
Did anybody offer to pick him up?
No.
No cab stopped to pick him up?
No, as a matter of fact, no cab this morning.
And we're talking about in rush hour in the morning in Manhattan, New York.
It is one thing to do that at night. I mean, you can't blame the guy. You don't want to be going to Harlem at night.
Nobody would pick him up this morning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, bright sunshiny morning in Manhattan, up the Upper East Side.
As a matter of fact, the second incident where the guy passed them by, he started to stop for them until he saw me, my shiny white face up the block.
Right.
And then just, he hit the accelerator and raced up toward me. And we held the taxi there. And as I said, we kidnapped his goat.
How come something can't be done about that?
Well, I assume there can be.
It's not really a racist thing. It's more an economic thing. They're just afraid. They were seriously scared. I mean, they'd take the money if they thought they would get it without getting shot. It's difficult to do anything about it.
It is.
It'll never change. I've been robbed. I've been hit over the head in the hospital. I used to drive a taxi. I had stitches in my head. And I was kind of afraid myself.
They know that they have cash on them, Don, and if they have to go up to a high crime area, they're very hesitant to go into a high crime area. There's a lot of stick-ups there are being committed against.
Well, it's not only black people robbing cab drivers.
Well,
can't be.
Well, but predominantly that is the case. Young black males do that.
Yeah.
And it's a
shame, but that's exactly the fact of life.
That's the reality.
And it's a damn shame.
Muhammad doesn't know anything about slavery or the South or any of that stuff,
Good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Was there anybody with the last name Abood in any of the cars?
No.
Are you referring to the drivers as my relatives? Is that where you're going with this thing?
Yeah, there was one guy who's wearing leg warmers.
Imus in the morning.
A lot of people wonder how People's Bank member FDIC.
Copyright 1999, CBS Radio, all rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. This concludes the entertainment and revenue-generating portion of your broadcast day. We now return you to the rest of your local programming schedule. An indecipherable embarrassment of broadcasting incompetence that compelled the station to subscribe to the Imus in the Morning program in the first place. The entertainment and revenue-generating portion of the broadcast day, the Imus in the Morning program, will resume Monday morning. Check your local listings for time and schedule.
The flagship station for the Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Rangers, and St. John's is The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is Rich Ackerman. By now, the defense of the same thing.
Yep.
As have other leading prominent black people.
Mm-hmm.
So Bernard is in Manhattan at 3rd Avenue and 88th Street with Stefan Dweck and Monterey Ivey, co-authors of the book Snaps. They also got a movie coming out. Let's go to Bernard now. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. How's the I-Man doing this morning?
You don't worry about how I'm doing. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing fine, Imus. Mr. Imus, we just found actually the only cab driver in Manhattan who does not wear a turban or where the taxi doesn't smell like a WNBA locker room. And we're going to ask him why he can't, perhaps. By the way, Kwesi Mfume by a vowel. And that was a shameless attempt to jump on the bandwagon with Danny Glover. Don't you think, Mr. Imus?
I don't know, Bernard. Just,
Gino, tell me, what's the problem with picking up black male?
I have no problem at all. I pick everybody up, And especially late early in the morning, everybody wants to get home from work. So I don't have a problem with that. I pick everybody up and take them where they want to go. I just came from Crown Heights at 4:30 this morning.
So what do you think? Do you think Danny Glover's lying, or what happened? Why do you think people don't want to pick up black males?
I find that hard to believe, especially at 5 o'clock in the evening. I mean, it's still light out, Don't.
By the way, we're going to get out now and see if Stefan Dweck and Monterey Ivey can catch a taxi.
Awesome.
But this gentleman once took Mr. Imus home from Hurley's Bar to Greenwich, Connecticut, and he got stiffed. Is that right, Gino?
That's true. And also, hey, Imus, without Bernard and Fred, man, you in trouble. Take care of these guys.
Gino, my man, hit him in the muscle. Gino must feel like a stranger down at the taxi stand. It's like a mosque, and he's the only white guy. So Stefan Dweck and Monterey are going to head down there right now.
Yeah, like right here, stop for us.
Now, we don't want the taxi to pick them up, so we want you guys to sort of affect the, yo, taxi, yo. We don't want to pick you up, so head on down here right now, Jim. What do you think?
All right. I don't know about what this guy's talking about. You know what? Because he tried to pass us by, Mr. Imus. Yeah, but you pick up Jim Jensen, wouldn't you? But he's dead. You pick up Joe DiMaggio. He's dead, too. Or you pick up Ronald Reagan. He should be dead.
We really wanted some intimidating Black Panther types, and we got a couple of black pantyways, but we're going to do our best with these two guys. Head on down here, gentlemen, and see if they can pick it up. And I'm going to go out in the street and see if they pick up a nice little altar boy like myself.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my taxi, lady. Where you going? No. Go ahead, gentlemen. Get out there.
I wish you would pass me by.
Okay, here come the taxis up the block, as you can hopefully see on TV.
Yeah.
The cameraman's coming around here. Good luck, Gino. Take it easy. Imus will send you a check. Sure he will. See ya. So long. Okay, here we go. Now, looks like they're actually getting a taxi. Look, here we go. He passed them by. Right here. He passed them right by. Hey, look at this.
Oh, I can't believe he passed me by.
What's up with you, man? What's your name? Tariq. Hey, Tariq, man. Why didn't you pick up my brothers from another mother, my fugly brothers from another mother over here?
I see you.
Oh, you saw me before you saw the brothers? They're invisible. Sonny, James Ellison wrote a book, The Invisible Man.
Yes, I'm you hitting me.
Why? Because are you afraid of black males? You think they're going to rob you?
No.
Everybody, keep it real, Habib. Keep it real, Habib. Come on now. Why? You don't want to...
Your mother smokes crack with George W. Bush.
Bernard McGurk, Stefan Dweck, and Monterey Ivey. And, for the first cab drove by, so...
I'm Governor Christy Whitman with...
Man, that would be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Think about that.
It's always nice to have you in the program, Senator Kerry. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Senator Bob Kerry from Nebraska here on the Imus Morning program. It's 21 till the hour. You don't like my jacket, Bernard?
Do you become a caricature of yourself?
Well,
You really?
It's just
Bernard is
ridiculous.
absolutely right.
It's New York City, and you're walking around with Jerry Spence jackets and cowboy hats.
And cowboys, and particularly with the cowboy hat.
My wife tells me I look adorable.
You guys going line dancing tonight,
See, that's where you don't get it, Bernie. It's not about building a bridge to the future. It's about building a tribe. And you're supposed to be part of...
Oh, God almighty. You're smoking those mushrooms.
You need some buckskin on that bald head. That's what
Honey, you leave Bernie alone.
You know what?
Feathers hanging off
You leave
of it.
Bernie alone.
You do a pretty good Jennifer Capriati impression. Where'd you learn how to do that?
It was fun.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Honey,
Yeah.
why don't you tell them about the John Smith Pocahontas little game we play?
Little Indian game, eh? That's cute.
No, we don't play any kind of thing.
Smoking a little peace pipe there, man.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Nikon has decided...
On the web at citgroup.com.
All right, here now on the Imus in the Morning program, Reverend Al Sharpton.
Danny Glover, the man who has starred in 4 of them Lethal Weapon movies, saw at least that many on-duty, unoccupied taxis pass him by when he was trying to hail one up in Harlem last month. First of all, I don't know what a man of Mr. Glover's stature is doing hailing his own taxi. Why he ain't got some personal assistant out on the street getting one for him is beyond me. In fact, I don't know why he taking cabs anyway. You a movie star, Danny. I mean, there's radio DJs riding in the back of big, black, chauffeur-driven stretch limousine. How does it look for a man of your stature to be standing on a street corner, flagging down some dot head in a big yellow checker cab? It's an outrage. If a man like Danny gets passed over, it is obviously a racial thing, despite the fact that I can't remember the last time I saw a Caucasian taxi driver. Normally, it's some swarthy individual from the Mystic East who got one of them big crown air fresheners on the dashboard and no vowels in his name. But I guess when even an illegal immigrant is hesitant to take on an African-American passenger, it must be due to fear brought about by an ethnic bias, which apparently they feel no compunction about displaying, especially seeing as the Vice President of the United States himself has exhibited similar behavior. On one of his recent New York campaign sweeps, Al Gore made me, David Dickens, and a couple of our homies from the National Action Network haul our asses downtown to the Upper West Side for a meeting. Why he afraid of coming up to the hood is anybody's guess. I mean, if Rudy Giuliani and Al D'Amato can walk down Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard dressed as crackheads and not get their asses kicked, how anything gonna happen to Gore? Of course, his spin doctors tried to whitewash the obvious diss, saying that he was over at ABC News taping some interview or something, and that it was too inconvenient for him to come uptown for the sit-down. But it sure didn't stop him from moving on up to Tina Brown's crib to hang out with that Zorro girl, Catherine Zeta-Jones. I suppose the mountain can go to Mohammed if Mohammed is some movie hottie, but not when it's a group of African-American community leaders. So how can you expect some cab driver named Mohammed to pick up my man Danny? I'll tell you what, this is a situation that will be rectified. Else the head of the New York Taxi and Limousine Commission will find himself riding in the back of a long black car, except it ain't exactly going to be a limo, and the guy in the black suit driving it ain't exactly what you would call a chauffeur neither.
Reverend Al Sharpton here on the Imus in the Morning program. Bernard and Stefan Dweck and Monterey Ivey are at 3rd and 88th in Manhattan trying to get a cab. How's it going, Bernie?
Well, it's going not too well, Mr. Imus. As you saw before, we had one taxi driver pass up our fugly brothers from another mother over here. Yeah. And but we're going to try it again, but I want to ask these gentlemen, a lot of times when we do these remotes on the streets, the police stop by. You guys don't happen to have any outstanding warrants or anything, do you?
No. No, not at the moment. Not at the moment.
And a lot of people are wondering why we picked 3rd Avenue and 88th Street. One reason is because it's heading uptown towards Harlem, so the cab drivers think that these gentlemen are going to Harlem. The other reason is that Monterey and Stefan worked this corner with their squeegees. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Well, that was our job. That's how we worked our way through college and graduate school. And thank you. It's very white of you to bring that up, Bernard.
Okay, so we're gonna attempt it again. Here's a young lady. Let me ask this young lady. Before we try it one more time, Mr. Imus, indulge us. Ma'am, do you ever have trouble catching a taxi out here?
I've had difficulties in the past catching a taxi past 125th Street, going up towards Harlem.
Is that right? Because I wouldn't be afraid of you robbing me or anything like that. You kind of look like Vanessa Williams a little bit.
Well, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you very much, but it's true. Most African Americans have experienced some difficulties in catching transportation, in the city, going to their destination past 125th Street. The question predominantly asked is where you're going, where's your destination before you even move, before the driver even moves to go anywhere. So
You don't need that. So who do you hate worse, an average New York cab driver or Imus in the morning?
Well, I would have to say the New York cab driver. I like Imus in the morning.
Okay, another misguided New Yorker. So now we're going to try to do this one more time.
Where's she going?
Hey, these gentlemen, by the way, Mr. Imus, they have a movie coming out.
They do.
Monterey Ivey and Stefan Dweck, the co-author of the book Snaps, which set the black race, about 20 years, gentlemen?
No, only 15.
And they now have a movie coming out.
Well, we have a new book and a movie, the same story. It's called The Field Guide to White People. Coming out in February on Crown Books, and we're doing a movie, independent film. Our budget's a little smaller than Blair Witch, but we hope to make as much money.
A lot smaller. It's 4 white people, 2 white people.
By black people.
There you go.
All right, fellas, you guys go get the pipe, and maybe we better.
We'll be back to you in a minute, Bernie. It's 10 minutes till the hour. Here's Warner Wolf.
Imus in the Morning 2020 Sports with Bob Dole's favorite sportscaster. Gives Bob Dole such a tingly feeling down in Bob Dole's wiener. Bob Dole doesn't need that Viagra. Here's Warner Wolf, or whatever.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning. Thank you, I-Man. NBA last night, Charlotte beat the Pacers 98-89. Indiana turned the ball over 32 times. Thus the term turnovers. Milwaukee over the Hawks, 119-109. Dikembe Mutombo from the foul-shooting school of Shaquille O'Neal hit only 4 of 11 from the line. Spurs over the Warriors, 104-81. After the game, Spurs Avery Johnson.
Normally take games one quarter at a time. We just going to Houston thinking about winning the first quarter and then the second quarter. And, in this league, you can't take it even game by game. You got to take it quarter by quarter.
No more one game at a time. Now it's quarter by quarter. That's it. Baseball, the new manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, longtime San Diego Padre coach, Davey Lopes.
I've watched this club very closely during the last 2 times that we played them. I anticipated this day happening, so I kind of watched this team a little more closely than I would other teams.
Wait a minute. He was watching the Brewers while he's coaching the Padres.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Guys are getting thrown out left and right for San Diego because he's watching the Brewers. Well, no wonder the Padres lost. Hear about this one, I-Man?
No.
22-year-old Arizona State star running back J.R. Redmond, who could be picked in the first round of the NFL draft, says he married a 31-year-old Arizona State student who worked in the athletic department so he could protect his athletic eligibility from the NCAA Rules Committee. It seems that Redmond accepted a cellular phone, made $400 worth of calls, and took a $175 plane ticket to Vegas from the woman. The 31-year-old woman told Redmond that the NCAA officials found out about his gift and were going to make him ineligible. So Redmond married the woman and then said he figured he would file for an annulment when the football season was over.
Good Lord.
The woman has asked for a half of the earnings Redmond is expected to receive from the NFL.
Has she really?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, how's that for a deal?
I like that, don't you? 7 till the hour here in the Imus Morning program, and here from the New York Daily News and newspapers around the country, Mike Lupica. Good morning, Mr. Lupica.
Women tried to use that game on me at Tucker's sometimes late at night, telling me I was going to lose my NCAA eligibility, and I nearly married them until I realized I didn't have any left. Who's on Tuesday?
Governor, Vice President George Al Gore.
Al Gore's going to be on the program?
Yeah.
What time are the Knicks on?
I resent that.
Teen angel, teen angel, teen angel. Imus in the morning.
This is the sound.
Did you say that? Oh, you are just great.
Comment and observation on headline issues of the day. Imus in Washington's senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Indeed. And thank you very much as always. Imus in the morning. Dick Nixon, alpha male, by the way. You never caught this public servant having to hire consultants to tell me how to be a man. Al Gore should have studied my record, J.D. Broke into Democratic National Headquarters, got all that hush money together, used the F word at least 3 times in every sentence, mowed down half the Justice Department in my celebrated Saturday Night Massacre, remember?
Yeah.
Those
Those were the days, weren't they, dude? Manly stuff. Macho man. Nobody named Naomi in my entourage telling the dick man how to put some lead in his pencil. And what does it say, by the way, if you're hiring a babe to tell you how to be a man? That's not an alpha male. That's, I don't know, an alfalfa male, maybe. Damn pansy, however you cut it. And one who is not going to be president. That's for damn sure. Oh, and while I'm at it, may I join you, Dono, in sending that same message to an individual who is rapidly becoming the world's most certifiable buffoon, Steve Forbes. Jeez, I'll get elected again before Steve Forbes does, and I'm dead. He only looks dead. Stop trying to buy yourself some significance, you twerp. You are still the kid who sat in the back of the class wiping boogers under your desk, and you always will be. Come on. Steve Forbes, President of the United States. Give me another hit on the pipe, will you? Oh, speaking of the candidates, Johnny McCain's taking some heat because he can get a little cranky? Excuse me? And this disqualifies you from being president because? For God's sake, weren't we just talking about some frog-sucking Clintonista flower boy trying to get his alpha face on? Has anybody here ever heard of Lyndon Baines Johnson? Or that nutcake I succeeded, Eisenhower? He could peel paint off the walls when somebody torqued him off. Truman, even that half-pansy Carter could kick butt. How about Clinton, for crying out loud? Hell, they had to practically put the bastard in restraints. He's gotten so nuts. McCain has hollered at a couple of his arrogant, numbskull, money-grubbing colleagues. Good. He hasn't OJ'd anybody, has he? Hasn't day-traded his way into his Senate offices behind an Uzi with a couple of cartridge belts slung over his shoulder, has he? Hasn't stuck tobacco products in a brownie scout or kept a gay whore holed up in a Capitol Hill condo, has he? Excuse me, but no, I don't think so. Oh, speaking of arrogance, I'm with you, dude, in this airline deal. I will decide whether I want to go see the damn pyramids with a spastic thrust reverser duct taped onto my damn airplane, thank you. Enough of this minimal equipment list jive and not knowing what's on the thing. Here's my message to the regulator boys at the FAA. Dear safety schmucks, it says Cairo on my ticket, not somewhere off Nantucket. Wake up, will you? I don't want my f***ing lost luggage having to be located by divers. Ouch! Tough talk in the old Dick Scope today, dude. But then the talk is that of alpha male Dick Nixon, who took no prisoners, although he nearly became a prisoner when he was the president of the United States.
Financial strength in Manhattan, and we've already determined they can't. I mean, the first cab drove by both of them, right, Bernie?
He certainly did. And by the way, Mr. Imus, would you pick those two slubs up yourself? I know. And here, take a shot of Stefan and Monterey out in front of the bodega. The only thing missing is a bottle of beer in a paper bag. I mean,
they're holding up a sign that says "Stop Blacks Tip Better" with a front page photograph of the front page of the Daily News with Danny Glover claiming that he couldn't get a cab. And the question, of course, that Reverend Al Sharpton asked on the Imus program was, what's a movie star doing taking cabs to start with? But, so what are we doing now, Bernie?
They're out here ogling all the beautiful white women of the Upper East Side, and then they're going to go over there and try to get a taxi. We're going to try to reprise what we did before to see if the taxi indeed passes them by. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
That's right. And, we've been taking a lot of grief from you this morning,
right,
Bernard.
So
we're not going to take much more.
And between Bernard and Jeff, they look like two tall testicles.
It appears that Jeff is a leukemia patient. You get a shot at him this morning?
Come on.
And by the way, your hairline, Bernard, is like a Mark McGuire home run. Going, goodbye.
Bernard's mother wears a turtleneck underwear.
I think they drank the beer in the paper bag. You guys go down here and try to catch that taxi.
Okay, so Stefan and Monterey are about halfway down the block.
Who had this lady here has a problem. You have a problem catching taxis?
I don't have a problem catching taxis, probably because I look Caucasian, but as soon as I get in and I tell them that I need to go home, which is over the 59th Street Bridge to the projects, they refuse to take me home.
Jack, I can't imagine why a cab driver wouldn't want to take somebody to the projects, could you?
No.
Maybe if you batted your eyes at them the right way, what do you think?
What do they do? Make her get out of the cab, Bernie?
Maybe, or
yeah, they
do.
Do they make you get out of the taxi?
They have. They've refused to move.
You're kidding.
That's an outrage.
That is.
How about you, young lady?
Oh, yeah. I live in Brooklyn, and one night I work late, and I hailed a taxi across the street. And then he said, where are you going? I said, in Brooklyn. He said, no, I'm not going to Brooklyn. You got to get out.
Why do you think he does that?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm black.
Yeah, but why? What do you think? You think he doesn't want your money, or what do you think? He's afraid to go to Brooklyn?
He want the money, but he don't want to go to Brooklyn because he figure he's going to get killed if he go to Brooklyn.
Lego.
You know, he figure criminals live in Brooklyn. Okay, fine. I'll get
What
out
am I,
of the
a
taxi.
mind reader
So I
here?
got out,
Oh,
and I called Carmel, and they took me straight to my home.
Do you happen to have an extra rolling paper on you for me, young lady?
Extra what?
Rolling paper. I got some ganja, but I ain't got no papers.
I don't smoke ganja. Where you get that from?
Okay, well, let's go see if the Monterey and Stefan can hail a taxi. Let's try it right now.
Attention, cab drivers.
We did this before. Here, take, and then I'll try to hail
Bernard
the
out in
same
the middle of the
cab.
street here.
We are two black men.
Get out in the street. Get out in the street. and hail a
Working
taxi.
for the I-Man. Trying to catch a
My question
cab
is,
so
why
we
aren't
can
these guys
get to
taking
work.
the subway?
Monterey and Stefan standing almost in the middle of 3rd Avenue.
Here comes a cab.
What would you prefer?
All right, hail this
To
taxi.
see us on TV or sneaking out of your house carrying your TV?
But you're doing the right thing.
They're in a crosswalk in the middle of the street.
Of course, there's a red light at the moment.
They look like a stick-up team, if ever.
Hello.
And Bernard, you're what, up the street from them a little bit?
I am up the street, and I will hail the taxi that refuses to pick them up.
Okay.
That woman will help us.
She said she'll help us.
Here comes a cab now.
I think it's over
here
to
comes one.
first Mrs. Imus right there.
That's
There she
very
goes. The black and blues apparently have disappeared.
Good morning,
Here comes the
cab
taxi.
drivers.
We got the cop stopping for us.
Do we have a cab anywhere, Bernard?
Yeah, they're on their way up the block right now.
Okay. Looks like the intersection is
New
blocked.
York City cab drivers.
Hey, put the
We
sign
need to
down.
catch a cab.
The Monterey and Stefan are standing almost in the middle of the
Hello.
street here. Oh, here comes a cab now.
Hi, we're trying to catch a cab.
Lights on.
There's a
Gonna
lady
go
in
right
it.
by him.
There's a lady in it.
There's a lady in that
customer
cab.
in it. Put the sign
No, but
down.
she's getting out.
Put the sign down.
Put the sign down.
Hail the cab legitimately. Go ahead. Try to hail it. Say, here you go. Here you go.
It's a
Hail
bunch
this
of
guy.
cabs now.
Hail this guy.
Cabby.
There's a cab with a light on.
Hello, cabby.
Not stopping.
We're attempting to catch a cab.
Yeah, right.
Good morning, Abdul. Can we get in?
Yeah, I wonder why they ain't stopped.
What's the situation, Bernard?
Well, apparently all these taxis have passengers in them already.
Cars
So,
are turning away at 85th
it's not
Street.
serving our
Just to
purpose
avoid
at
us,
all.
I-Man.
I just saw 3 cabs go by them. Did they have people in them, or what was the deal?
They all had passengers in the back seat.
Oh, they did. Well, all right, we're back to Bernard.
Take the subway, you jerks.
This did seem like a good idea, but obviously it's not.
You don't like my peaches? Don't you shake my tree? If you don't like my peaches, don't you shake my tree? That's the way I was born. That's the way it's gonna be. But I got to get out of here. Imus in the morning.
On the next. Professional woman, highly skilled in the ways of love.
I hear tell she considers herself pretty good at weasel polishing.
He was the second most powerful man in the free world.
And the vice president has her on retainer? I didn't think he had it in him, let alone in her.
Paramount Pictures presents the sequel to one of the most successful romantic comedies of all time.
He hired her to help him attract younger women? Now, why didn't I think of that?
Pretty Woman 2.
Hey, I'm a feminist, you know. Seriously. I'll burn a bra in a minute, just from the friction of my hands.
She provided her expertise for $15,000 a month.
For that kind of money, you can't tell me he wasn't poking her on the side.
He needed her to help him break free of his beta male image.
Oh, he don't need any help doing that. He's a masturbator.
She needed the power and access their relationship provided.
And what about my needs, huh? All that stuff he said about me on the Brian Gumble show, being one of the century's greatest presidents, that ain't the kind of BJ I'm looking for here.
Julia Roberts is feminist Naomi Wolf.
You know, Naomi, I could have used you over in Oslo to help take some of the tension off them peace talks. Although if you were going to be attracted to that Arafat guy, you would have needed to be a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Richard Gere is Vice President Al Gore.
That's a good casting choice. Old Al sure walks like he's got a gerbil up his butt.
Pretty Woman 2.
Mercy.
Get out of my mind. My love for you is way out of line. Better run, girl. You're much too young, girl. Imus in the morning.
Well, this could be the week that changes everything, the week you discover the...
Time for Hewart. Rifles over the middle. It's complete. Taking it in Gadsden. Inside the 10 to the 5. He's in. Touchdown. And give it to Tony Martin.
Dolphins dominate again. Good morning. Mike Breen with sports. Joel Myers with the call. Last night, Sunday Night Football, Miami improves to 7-1. Their defense is awesome. They haven't given up a touchdown in over 3 games, and they shut out a potent offensive team in Tennessee. Final score 17-0. Titans head coach Jeff Fisher was not happy.
I congratulate the Dolphins on the shutout. It's the first time I've been shut out, and now I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Well, it's not going to happen again next week. They play the Bengals, but I don't think you should ever say that. You never know what's going to happen from one week to another.
Well, let's not be dissing the Bengals. We got $30,000 from Bruce Cosley, you know.
Not dissing
the ranch, so.
It's not Bruce's fault.
I did call Bruce, and I wrote him a letter. And
yeah.
One line in the letter was, "I'm sorry your team sucks." I don't think he thought it was that amusing, but...
One of the all-time good guys. It's over for the St. Louis Rams. Great start, 6-0 on the cover of all the magazines. Well, they lost their second straight. Hold on. Here they go. 31-27. Lions beat them. And here's quarterback Kurt Warner, the surprise story of the year on why the Rams lost.
Wasn't meant to be today.
It wasn't meant to be. They'll be back in arena football by week 16, and the Rams will finish the season at 6-10.
No, that's just not true. They just barely. I mean, they were very lucky that Detroit beat them on a last-second deal. I mean, it was.
So what, do you get a half a win by coming close?
Well, no, but I
it's
mean,
a loss. 2 in a row.
I understand that.
It's just the beginning of things to come.
Well, fine.
Trust me.
Okay.
As for the Lions, they're amazing.
How about the Jets? Well, they suck.
I'll get to them in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Lions lose Barry Sanders and are a much better football team. They're now 6-2 in first place in the NFC Central. And the Broncos, seeing how well the Lions are doing without Sanders, yesterday announced they've released Terrell Davis. And look what happened. They beat the Chargers in San Diego. Expect other teams now to follow suit and release or cut their all-star running backs.
What's the latest with Ryan Leaf? He's freaked out, or what's the deal?
Freaked out? That's a good way. A good way to describe it.
Is that what he's done?
Yeah, well, him and Bobby Beathard had a little shouting match.
Hey, I thought you were going to run a marathon yesterday. What happened?
Well, I was in Cleveland. I didn't get back until Sunday morning.
Oh, it didn't start until around 10:45.
Well, I'm not going to hop off a plane and run my first marathon.
Oh, why?
Because I was broadcasting a game late the night before, took the first flight, and it would have been very difficult for me to make it on time.
Oh, well, no guts. Man, I'm very disappointed in you.
I'll run it next year.
Didn't you train for it?
Well, I started to in the summer, then I got the NBA schedule and realized I wasn't going to be able to do it.
Well, did you know you were going to do NBA games this year?
Yes, but you hope that it's not on the day of the marathon.
Why didn't you take the day off?
I don't think that's right.
Why?
Just to run a road race?
Well, no, you do throughout the year.
It's my livelihood.
No, you take days off.
Once in a while.
Well, you could have done this.
I probably could have. Maybe I'll do that next year.
You were chicken Freddy scared, wasn't you, Chuck?
Couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Couldn't make it. Great atmosphere in Cleveland this weekend. Browns fans foaming at the mouth as they're ready to host the hated Baltimore Ravens and owner Art Modell. So the Ravens come out, score on the first drive of the game. Everyone's deflated, and Baltimore wins it 41-9. Browns still with 1 win.
Ugly day in Cleveland for the Browns.
Yes.
Very ugly.
Even the Jets won, beat Arizona in a classic 12-7 at the Meadowlands.
God, do they suck.
Rick Meyer throws a touchdown pass to Keyshawn Johnson in the fourth quarter. Bill Parcells was asked about Meyer's overall performance.
I'm not saying anything about Rick Meyer. I'm sure he's tried to do the best he could.
Rave reviews from Bill Parcells as the team wins their second game.
Well, they got a tough schedule coming up. I mean, I don't see how they,
Their schedule in the second half is brutal, including Miami twice.
Yeah.
You think they have a shot at even a first down against the Dolphin defense?
And they have a Monday night game in Foxborough against the Patriots, right?
That's correct. That's their next game.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, so they lose that 41-3.
That's correct.
Pretty. Oh, this is great.
New York City Marathon yesterday, the winner, a shock. Someone from Kenya, Joseph Schrebet, who had finished second the last 2 years.
He won the Boston Marathon this year.
That's correct. Schrebet was asked, how does it feel to finally finish first in New York?
I'm so tired right now.
2 hours, 9 minutes, and 14 seconds.
You really are just an idiot.
The women's winner, Adriana Fernandez, 4 hours, 25 minutes.
No.
And 6 seconds.
That's not true.
Sure it is.
2 hours.
Well, it said 2 hours, but there's no way a woman ran it in 2 hours. That's obviously a misprint.
You really are just an idiot.
So congratulations.
You know, it's perfect weather. It was in the 40s with low humidity yesterday, but the wind was awful. But not for the wind. If not for the wind, I probably would have broken the record for the marathon, which is 2:08:1, I believe. So,
right.
But for men.
I'll shoot for that next year.
If you can break... I bet you could run it, and I bet you could break 3.5, do you think?
No.
4.
If I broke 4, I'd be ecstatic.
My wife ran it in 3.5.
Really?
Yeah. She could break 3 if she worked at it. So
Why didn't she work at it then?
Yes, she did. She went. First year she ran it in 4:20. The second year she ran it in 3:30.
3:30.
So improved by almost an hour. If she kept that up, she could run it. She could win it. 4 till the hour.
Imus in the morning.
The next Martin Short Show is a guarantee.
National Media Foundations with Chief Engineer, veteran broadcast journalist, Walter Cronkite.
And today we examine the foundation collapsed. Return with me now to Friday, November 5th, 1999. A day, well, sadly in this case, a day like all days, it seems, when radio icon Don Imus yet again rolled over, dropped his trousers, and said, in essence, do me. For whom had the I-Man given it up this time? For whom had he knuckled under in the latest episode of rank capitulation, seduction, and surrender? The answer to the question would stun Imus's national audience in its outrageous implication. For this was, inarguably, the worst yet. Countless times, the Imus listener and this old, normally unflappable monument to cool, dispassionate reporting have watched as Imus dispensed humiliation all around, caving in to individuals he had banned from his program, restoring them to the active guest list at the merest hint of a kiss-up, the mention of the Imus name in a newspaper column, the mere drop of the Imus name in this or that celebrity interview. Indeed, it would usually take nothing more than the ordering of a hat from the Autobody Express mail order concern to almost instantaneously rehabilitate some person whom the I-Man had in his previous breath castigated as the lowest life form ever discovered outside a petri dish. A figure who should be found splattered across the business end of a bridge abutment, whose pets, furniture, and shrubs should all burn in hell. Imagine then the listener's horror when Imus announced on Friday that an individual for whom he reserved his most vile and malignant atrocities ever, a person who could not get on his program with a suitcase bomb, suddenly would be an honored guest after a recent shameless suck-up to the I-Man at a Washington charity event. As his audience reeled in disbelief, the I-Man said,
Tuesday, Al Gore. My man, Al.
The reaction was immediate. Disgust, shock, nausea, stupefaction.
I can't believe you're going to have Gore on. I just have one question. Al Gore?
Well,
the most evil man on the planet?
No.
The most evil man on the planet? I mean, unbelievable. This is the same group of people you said not even a week ago, get out? Well, I mean, just go away and leave us alone? Al Gore?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened tonight at that roast, but I hope you didn't wash your panties from that night. And you never know when you need a DNA sample from Gore. Yes, this campaign headquarters, Gore 2000. Let's see. You swallowed for Bill. You swallowed for Hillary. And now you're going to swallow for Al Gore.
You're unbelievable.
What are you studying, to be an intern?
Yes, Al Gore, who, try as he might, will never be alpha male, joining for a mutual mental masturbation session another man who we now know will also never be alpha male, Don Imus. Awful male. For Media Watch, this is Walter Cronkite. Thank you and good night.
Well, that's a little harsh, I think. I mean, the Vice President of the United States, he's running for the presidency. And doing a pretty good job, I might add.
Oh, my God. Stop it.
Well, he's going to be on tomorrow. Oh, find out what's on Al's mind.
That's it.
It's 8 minutes after the hour here on the Imus Morning Program. Fred Imus and Boomer Esiason are coming up. I don't know whether you understand it, and Charles didn't either, that this this Nikon Coolpix 950 digital camera is the Millennium Edition. It is there are 2,000 of them. They are all numbered. I have number 1957 here in my grubby little hand that we have a bid of $10,000 for, and all of that money is going to the Imus Ranch.
You were. Men, we face a particularly troubling dilemma today. There is a weak link in our chain of command.